welcome to LAWhammer, our super smooth, slick transition at the beginning, where we gather every single week and play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay in my living room. Yay! Yay. I'm kind of looking forward to this week, actually, because this is one of those rare weeks where I actually have no idea what's going to happen. Now, that may sound a bit strange, given that I'm the GM and I'm the one that's going to be potentially presenting the world. But, for all I know that they're going sort of north on a barge, and for all I know that last week, there was most certainly a big, let's call it revelation, whilst the entire party realised that they were, in fact, infiltrated, perhaps, by a traitor? Luitpold's shadow. Quite.
Hey, look at me, I'm not a shadow.
No, indeed, you're not. For all I know that that's what happened last week, and we had a big kaiju battle kicking around in the background, and there was a bunch of Sigmarites who did not survive that particular battle, which was most certainly a nasty outcome. I don't know where it's going to go next because we're heading towards Altdorf. We're going in that direction, and Altdorf is a place of
kisses.
It is a silly place.
Yes.
Change.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not so good. Okay, so with that bullshit aside, let's dive into some quick XP. So last week the episode was called The Traitor, and did the traitor get unleashed? Most certainly yes. Did anybody die from the Fenworm attack or the arrival of the fox? And actually no, that all turned out really well. In fact, if you haven't watched that episode yet, you should have if you're watching this one. There was a really nice gift put up by Autumn Archfrey.
Yeah.
And it's worth looking. It's over in Discord. You rock. Yeah. Let's give her a big round of applause there, because it was really quite awesome. Good times.
So well done.
That was a successful outing. We saved the good guy, bad guy, the witch, who was going to be burnt. But a successful one, 125 XP each.
Ooh. 125.
Oh.
Indeed.
Watch maths, everybody.
Did anybody hit a short-term? Nope. Oh, that makes it super easy. And what's our current party short-term ambition?
To get to Middenheim.
Yeah, we're a wee bit away from that yet. So,
Get to Altdorf?
I mean, do you wanna?
I would argue Middenheim is a state of mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would argue Middenheim is the friends we made along the way.
Oh, it's not the destination; it's the journey.
It's not Wittgenstein. It's not my friend.
But so we're in Middenheim, but you're
Yous
not
have
there
made
yet.
it.
Right, so, silliness aside, there's a couple of things to mention before we go. If you happen to be in Edinburgh tomorrow, and I'm talking to those of you watching live, not those of you watching 6 months down the line, because obviously I can't do it every single week, or indeed day. If you're in Edinburgh tomorrow, I will be doing a big mapping tutorial over at Chimera Festival. They're one of their big book festivals for Edinburgh's Book Week month. I'm not entirely sure which it is. It's Edinburgh's Book something or another. Oh,
This is their writers' conference.
The writers' conference. I'm going to be there showing people how to make maps for their writings, I presume. It's going to be great. So that's tomorrow. Next week, I'm also doing a big tutorial for Inside the Rookery. For those of you who are patrons over on that, and if you're not, you should go check that out. I'm going to be doing a tutorial for NPCs and how to link them together into this great big networky web of NPC awesome that's also super easy to track, because one of the big difficulties of dealing with lots of NPCs in a campaign like this is you can very easily lose them as the GM. The players have enough trouble just dealing with their single character. As a GM, where you may have 100, 150 of them, there is some easy ways that you can keep all of those all linked together and all moving forward at the same rate as the PCs, which is in and of itself somewhat of a feat. It isn't difficult, and we're going to be covering that as our next masterclass. Beyond that,
Rookery tomorrow?
oh yeah, Rookery tomorrow. I'm going to pass over to Andy. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to just lean back and just do nothing.
Hey, so our guest on the Inside the Rookery tomorrow is Greg, who is another local guy from Edinburgh who runs Gregorian Games, makes a game called Runesword, and we're going to specifically be talking about combat in tabletop RPGs. And obviously, we've had a lot of combats here. I think we've maybe refined some of the kind of core WFRP rules.
We have.
So if you're interested in kind of combat and RPGs, that should be quite a good lively chat.
It's going to be a lot of fun, actually. I'm looking forward to that one. So, I think that's everything. Are we ready for episode 23?
Yes.
Ready as we'll ever be.
Just before I go, episode 23's title is a reference to something that not a lot of you may be able to grasp. But I will say that it's a direct reference to what we will potentially be meeting today, and also why they are called what they're called.
Shit eaters.
It's not the shit eaters. Good try. So with that, episode 23, no one works as hard as. A hot summer sun has risen above the River Reik, sending light scattering across its slightly turbulent surface. The foot shover is one of several barges making their way, well, not so much down the Reik, let's say using the Reik, because few of them are making their way to Altdorf. Most are making their way in the opposite direction. It's early morning and the shifts have changed for the crew. Birdie is now crewwoman extraordinaire, as Butthilda has taken up her space at the rear of the foot shover, the barge, inside its wheelhouse. She's had to kick out Skip, who likes to sleep in there. There was a bit of a shouting match.
Let him.
It's where she literally steers.
Yeah, just let him.
No. No. Not given what he wears when he sleeps.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or doesn't.
Doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, quite.
Rude.
There's a certain amount of kicking, foot shoving, involved to get him out. He grumbles and he groans and eventually makes his way off to where Butthilda normally sleeps, at the front of the vessel. Beyond that, we have ourselves a crew of shattered folk, some of whom are more shattered than others, some of whom are going through somewhat of an emotional roller coaster just now, having just realised that certain things were not as they originally thought. And that's not just for Shadow Boy. Not so much Shadow Boy anymore, hopefully. Lack of Shadow Boy. That's not just for Ume, and her relationship with her fox, which is not the relationship she originally thought it was. And that was a bit of a realization. Some of us are much more, let's say, at one with the world, having just studied away, passed out studying, woken up studying, food being delivered by a certain halfling, or that's enough to wake up Luitpold in the morning. Oh my god, those two can just go at each other. No, it's so noisy. Luitpold is not the first on deck, though. Neither is Birdie.
Well, he can't be, can he? Because Luitpold requires someone to enable him to get on deck.
That does, yes. Elric, who is deep within his mind, thoughts a thoughting, is first up on the barge. He's been pacing, thinking, looking out at the water. It's interesting, at this particular point in the Reich, on one side, we have Talabecland. And on the other side, we have Reikland. You're sitting pretty much on the border between it. And in the time you've been awake already this morning, we have had the river widening out, splitting into several channels, moving back together. Marshes, you've spotted an entire bestiary's worth of various creatures hiding around in the waters, some of them gathered over in the marshes. You've seen various lizardine things, various snaky things, fish, some of them rising up, birds of all different types. That thing that passed by had legs that was flying. You're not entirely sure what it is. The lack of lower beasts is very much showing right now. But what is clear is that this is a very active place in terms of wildlife. And you can understand why many of the barges often have barge dogs to bark at them and send them off, because most of them are just wild animals. They hear loud noises, they see a flash of fire, and they'll be off. Or alternatively, guards with long barge poles and spears to push anything away. The most interesting one which took your mind was, again, what you think was probably trolls. A group of about 10 of them just making their way along the riverside. And they were half in and half out the march, just slumping their way along. A couple of shorter child trolls, you presume, or just short ones, you literally don't know, schlepping their way along with them. They, however, were nothing but the good sides. There was also bad sights. It's only been a few hours. 12 pyres. 12. It appears that the Sigmarites are out in force. And they're definitely burning something. As to what they're burning, you certainly can't be sure. But you are relatively certain that last night they did, at least some Sigmarites, have a dark witch. Definitely had somebody who was studying something that was illegal. Then again, you do the same thing. Illegality does not necessarily mean the same thing as corruption, for example. Although the Empire doesn't see it that way. You're tired. It's the morning. And you see the halfling ferrying around, getting breakfast for people. Every single time she passes out, oh, hello, hope you're all right this morning. I just go and pops by, here's a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you.
And pass by.
Spiced.
Yeah, I know how you like it. And then passing down little trees towards the back. Here, you want anything but elder? No, I've already eaten this morning. No, we got to fatten you up. There's hardly anything to you. I'm fat enough already. She says, I sat my arse all day at the blooming wet. Sorry, it's early morning, I know. She says, stress is relatively high amongst almost everybody aboard the ship, largely because, well, yesterday was most certainly a unique event. You saw things that were, in and of themselves, actually terrifying, but more than that, there's also that little bit of a lot of people died, or at least you assume they did. There's no corpses, nothing left alive, but they're definitely not there anymore. Lucas knocks on Luitpold's door early morning and says, do you need any help getting anything organised, sir?
Yeah, could you maybe get Elemental to come and untie me?
And then opens the door. What the, As he looks in, I don't need to know. As he closes the door, I don't need to know. Then he runs over, opens up the door. Father Luitpold's up to sex games. There's something going on in there. Do you want to go knock at him and find out? Because I actually can't bring myself to ask because he's a priest.
Okay,
well,
100% yes, let's go see what's going on.
Yes,
right.
I need to get...
One second.
Get this.
Who have you told?
I haven't told anyone yet, but I have
Tell
to...
everyone.
I have to get Alamina with me. She probably tied him.
We'll get to last. Tell everyone else first.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I can hear you.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
His face
I'm
dreams
gonna-
a bit white as he goes,
I'm going to get untied eventually.
right. Yes, of course, sir. I'll just get Alamina wife immediately.
I can hear you shaking your head.
As he comes back down, knocks on your door, and says, "Excuse me, are you awake?
Yes.
Sex games next door." And then he pauses at the door and goes, "That didn't come out right. That really didn't come out." He said, "No, I'm not suggesting that you participate. I'm just there's something up with the father. That's all I'm saying." As he runs off up the stairs.
Certainly something up there. Sex games.
Goes up, runs in, knocks on the room that you have at the prow. You're good at this barge stuff. Yeah, right at the front. It's at the top. Bashes on the door and says, "The father's tied up downstairs. I've been ordered to get everyone to look at him. He says,
Okay.
it's obviously sex games. See you later. That's all.
I think you'll tell Anita.
Oh, right, yeah.
Good morning, sir. It appears that Father Luitpold's got himself tied up in what appears to be some sort of sex game escapade. If you're at all interested, I imagine. No, not to do anything again. I'm not saying that this, but it's embarrassing. Obviously, there's something going on. I've been told to tell absolutely everyone by Gerhard. He's going in right now. I imagine he's going to talk to him and be deeply disappointed by the reality of the situation. But one hopes that he won't be.
Right.
Some
Were you not
levity
the
is
one
much
with the
needed,
sex
don't you think?
games? No, was it not you with the sex games?
No. Excuse me, sir. He says that it is not a game. It's a very serious business. As he walks
I
off.
could have sworn Alan White said something.
Oh
about
God! No! As he makes his way down the steps at the stern of the vessel, the bum of the foot shover. As then he looks round, just when it's just as said, looks at you and says, "Really, sir? I didn't actually expect more from you." As he comes down, goes over, not on your door, goes over and knocks on the door of the doctor, and you hear, "Yes?" Opens it up, and you can hear from where you are, "I think Luitpold's doing sex games." He says, "What has that got to do with me?" Gerhard, tell me, I should tell you what, it's feeling very childish right now.
Oh, no, I'm going to get it.
I'm very stressed. Says, I imagine he told you to do this, didn't he? You're not his servant. And he probably goes, I know, it's just, it was very amusing, and I thought some levity might actually be of use, because the mood has been somewhat somber of late, and let's be honest, it wouldn't have surprised me if I'd woken up this morning and someone had just jumped off the barge. As she says, yes, well, it's not exactly my position to deal with such things, but you shouldn't be spreading what is almost certainly scurrilous lies. Well, I am.
Let's just hope there isn't an existentially bleak punchline to this joke, Lucas.
We'll find out.
No, I'll provide it.
As he bangs on your door, as Greta, who's already awake, currently eating breakfast, says, "He's not exactly quiet. Sex games seem somewhat inappropriate given what the truth is."
What's the truth again? Why did we tie him up?
We tied him up because he might have had a nightmare, a living nightmare that his shadow is currently experiencing, and just, I don't know, killed everyone or something.
That was it.
What is wrong with you?
I've just forgotten. I'm getting up, all right? I'm getting up. She'll get up.
As Lucas goes, well, that's very somber. It's in the front of the ship. Barge. He says,
Lucas, I did find out last night that the father doesn't have vows of celibacy. He smiles.
I didn't like the implication of that. He says as he turns around, no, excuse me.
Yes.
I mean, just excuse me. As Greta says to him, if you're informing everyone, you should probably inform our guest. She's currently down in the hold. Can you do that? Oh no, says Greta. I'll do it then. How's she going to get out of there? There is a ladder. Yes, but the slats are in place. You can just lift them. Right.
She's reading, Lucas. Right.
Meanwhile, at the front of the foot shover, Gerhard arrives
Morning. Hello. Oh.
with tied up Father. It's not as tied up as you hoped.
Oh.
He can probably get out of his hammock and stand up.
Right. What's this all about?
No, I think he probably will have got out of his hammock and will be standing up, looming over Garth.
I thought the whole point was you were in some sort of...
No, I was tied up in case my shadow possessed my body while I was asleep and killed you all.
Right.
Turns out that didn't happen, so it's fine.
Okay, is
So
that...
can you untie me now?
I don't know if I want to after that explanation. What?
I mean,
It'll be about you arriving as well.
if it's any consolation, I could pick up my hammer and bludgeon you to death with my hands clasped together.
2 hands, yes, you can do that.
I mean,
that is fair.
I can also summon holy fire and eviscerate you
Yeah.
while my hands are tied.
No.
So all it's doing is
This
preventing
seems
me.
ultimately pointless then, if all those things are possible.
Well, no, because I can't, 'cause he's tied to the wall. It's like I couldn't leave the room. You come within arm's reach.
He's not within
Right.
arm's reach. He's at the door at the moment.
I see.
Yeah,
well,
but you
no,
can't
let's
reach
assume
I
that's
reckon.
But he
with
could
Lu-
reach you.
I reckon with
Fake your
Leopold's size, he
Yeah,
probably
you were
could.
purposely tied so you couldn't get to the door.
But he's in. I thought
Alright,
he'd come in the room.
yeah.
I thought you'd come in the
I'm
room.
happy with that.
Oh no, he's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fine. Steps back about. No. All right. No, it's fine. It's kind of boring.
You're
really.
right by Yumi now, who's
Oh,
looking
hello,
in
Yumi.
by the door.
Hey. You
Are
okay?
you joining in?
Well, it's not actually sex games.
Oh, fair enough.
It's kind of. Yeah. It's really. Actually, it's sort of somewhat terrifying.
There's a thump, thump, thump,
A little
thump,
bleak, right?
and a
Yeah.
roll
Yeah.
as a tripping halfling comes in and says, "Oh yeah, there was something going on. What's going on in here? Well, why? Oh, he looks like a prisoner. I was expecting some sort of, you know." She says, "You know,
Yeah.
where,
I mean,
where's your chest at?"
I was tied up by 3 beautiful women last night. I mean, that's something, right?
3.
A certain ham hock situation, but apparently not.
1 second. Right, I feel like that this has gone. Sorry, let's move back just outside. So I feel like this was going to be a fun thing. It's no longer a fun thing. Do you know what would make it a fun thing? Though?
What?
Right, you know how you're good at sort of pilfering. Right, he's not wearing his breastplate, is he?
Standing in the corner over there.
You know, I think
You know-
his ears are really good.
Yeah. they are really good, though. They're really good,
Elric,
Marius.
are you going down? Because if you are, you will have arrived.
Yeah.
You can see the halfling's looking somewhat disappointed. She says, "Morning. Oh, you need another tea? Give me a cup."
Here you go, Dom.
She
Thanks.
went,
Thank
"Oh,
you.
it's actually hard to negotiate, isn't it? With just a cup, I go by the saucer, much easier." Makes her way out. Sees you, Birdie. "Morning." She says, "You needing something else? Yeah, you need something else, don't you?"
Hungry.
She
Very,
says,
very hungry.
"Yeah, all right. Shame you're stuck up here, eh?" And she makes her way over towards the galley.
I could eat you, you know.
She says, "Hey, take your ages. There's a lot of me." She
You don't know
says-
how hungry I am.
She says, "I've already given you 2 sausages."
More.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you were calling on the god of death. She says,
No.
"Me poor wee beating heart." And she makes her way out. As you are making your way across the top, you see Lucas is sitting there by the slats to the bottom, going, "Oh, marvellous, you could do it." As he then walks away, leaving you and Greta to deal with the person below.
I think I'm supposed to be going to untie Luitpold. You can do it, Greta.
Greta says, "I'm going to need some help if I'm going to be lifting
All
up these
right,
slats."
fine, I'll help you. Someone else can
I'll
untie
go
him.
and untie him.
No, it's fine.
Because
Oh, you're better with
that's
ropes.
kind of my job.
Yeah, but you're currently manning the ship. Says
I can
Greta.
do it from down below. I can keep yelling orders. It's fine. Blutilda's keeping an eye
You're
out.
meant to be holding ropes and things, aren't you?
I can go hold those
That's what
ropes.
Tilda
It's
says.
fine.
"Oi! Get back! Oi!
You
Back!"
spoil all my fun.
Right.
They basically
Take a step.
Come on, then.
Left, drop. She's down in the bottom, candles burnt low, asleep beside the books as she looks up at the light that suddenly breaks free and goes, "Good morning. It seems far too early." Ladies,
Oh, it is breakfast time, my lady.
did he wake up?
He woke up.
Has he?
I haven't seen him yet. I came to see you first.
Oh, you should have gone to him first, just in case.
Well, other people have already been to him. He seems fine, apparently.
If a bit grumpy.
She says,
I'm going now. Greta will help you up.
"I shall make my toilet first." Meanwhile, back down with Luitpold, Yumi, Gerhard, and Elric, who's just arrived.
What kind of game is one person involved in? Well, there's one particular
No.
name I know of. Doesn't seem up his alley.
No, we sort of.
You stay out of my alley.
Is his alley relatively safe?
I believe it is.
He is wearing a tunic, so you know. Like,
Well, I just very true. Yes. Is your no? It's just not. It's quite annoyed. It's quite angry this morning.
I'm
just not
I'm
fun.
hungry and I need a piss.
All right.
Well,
No.
just piss.
No, this is weird. No. All right, come in. Let's
you
give you a
might
hand.
be into that, but we would like to not
Let's,
see that.
okay, I'll.
We're all animals.
Ready?
You don't need to cut them.
No.
Just untie them.
Well, it looks
Why
quite
are you
rough
tied
rope.
up?
While my shadow was here, while it slept, I saw what it saw during the day, and I was worried that when I went to sleep, it might be able to exert some influence over my body. It can't, it turns out, which is good, but we wanted to be sure, so I volunteered to be tied up.
Is that not what the shadow would say if it could influence you?
No, if the shadow could have, now that its fun had been spoiled, something bad would have happened.
Do you? This is interesting.
You're coming down the stairs, Elemental Wife.
Can you prove that you're
will like
Luitpold?
walk towards Luitpold.
Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
Could you?
Right, let's have a look at him. Does he have a shadow?
Shadow's still missing.
No.
But I thought the new Luitpold did have a shadow.
Shadow's missing.
But he had a shadow yesterday. Wait, you had a shadow
You
yesterday.
didn't notice it. You're blind.
Did I?
You're forgetting
Yesterday
the
you
whole
had a
blind thing.
shadow, and today your shadow's gone.
And this is what I'm saying. How?
So how do we test this? So we don't know if it's him.
We
right.
could tickle him
what?
until he gets really angry.
Well, the problem is that he told myself and the lady last night that he experienced everything the shadow experienced, and
Oh, so vice
so
versa.
it's not like we can ask him anything.
No, and it knew things about.
And-
When did it
Yeah.
happen?
Well, the thing is, it was my shadow, right? So I was like a passenger. I could see everything it was doing. It wasn't me making the decisions, but every decision it made is the decision I would have made were I the one making the decision, which weirdly made it more infuriating.
So it still did what you wanted to do,
Yeah.
but you weren't in control.
Everything it did is what I would
I
have
know.
done.
That would be fair.
And Dr. Flaster!
It's Greta goes, uh-oh.
Should be fine. Should be fine.
Bleed him.
Runs to Dr.
Check his
Flaster's room.
humors.
Tap, tap, tap.
I'm clearly not in
Dr.
murder's
Flaster
rage.
says, yes, come in. Oh, Mr. Salamanawith, what can I do for you this morning?
I'm going to write it down, Dr. Flaster.
Right. I trust this involves father.
Exactly.
Luitpold. Exactly what is it that you wish me to do?
She's a wily one.
I'm going to write it down.
On the front of the back. Oh, she's wily.
Write down. Luitpold's shadow could see, but Luitpold cannot. We do not know if this is Luitpold's shadow. Do you have some kind of physician method of testing whether someone can see?
To which she replies, oh yes.
Thank you.
That's what you hear. Oh yes.
I mean, out of character, I can think of an easier way of testing it, but
No, but like, Alamanowith doesn't know about pupils dilating.
no,
Like,
just
Throw a brick at him.
like write on a piece of paper. That's the shadow. We're going to kill him, and move it in front of Leopold's face. if the shadow could take it, he'd be like,
I don't
"Fuck!"
I don't trust the shadow.
Yeah.
He
To
tricked us
preserve
for
itself.
weeks.
Very
To
wily,
preserve
yeah.
He
itself.
tricked us for weeks.
Wily,
Nope.
wily shadow.
Nope.
Wily shadow.
That's exactly what the shadow would say.
Burn him!
Exactly.
Chuck him off the boat.
I'm not the physician.
Are we gonna have to do this every night?
No, we've done
Probably.
it once. It
How do you know
hasn't-
that?
But because we've done it once and nothing bad has happened.
Excuse me, could we please stop bickering?
We could take
She
turns
says,
being tied up.
as
by
the
now.
doctor comes over. Ah, Father Luitpold, I see they've left you tied up.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody out, please.
Should I stay?
Oh, you'll also
No,
know my
you
arm's
shouldn't.
not broken.
Oh, okay.
You absolutely shouldn't. This is to do with the father and his own modesty.
Yet.
So please, out.
No, like Leopold's arm wasn't broken. The shadow's was.
Shadow, yeah.
His arm wasn't
Oh.
broken when he rocked up yesterday.
That's nice.
She takes off your blindfold and tilts your head, looks in at your eyes, pushes her thumb in.
Wow.
Ow!
Ow.
Then she picks up your arm and punches it.
Ow!
Mm-hmm. It's not broken. She says.
That's though.
No, I'm satisfied that it's not the same person that we had before. She says, let me see if I can help with this.
Thank you.
Let's see if she can.
How do we know she's
I mean,
not
to be
a
fair,
child?
I don't know we know that ropes are necessarily that well tied.
As she undoes them.
Stitches.
And then
stuff.
opens up. Once you're back up, Father, you might not realize it, but you really need somebody to shave your tonsils. They look terrible.
Well, not surprised.
Yes, they look really very scrappy, and I know that is important to you. She turns around and she says, have you been doing your studies, Gerhard?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, no, yes.
And how much of your time has been spent on things that aren't your studies? Beyond your, how did you put it, adventuring?
External to adventuring.
Mm.
So, if time-wise, if it was a cake or pie, I would say adventuring.
No, the adventuring does not count.
No, I just want you to know where my time.
I don't care about the
All right,
adventuring. I
fine.
mean the rest of your time.
Oh, okay.
The time you're supposed to be dedicating to your studies. The fact that you're dissembling suggests that you have not been doing what you should be doing.
40-60.
Well, that's unacceptable. You promised me.
60.
You promised
studies.
me that when it came to your studies, that you would dedicate all of your time that was free to your studies.
That is fair. No, that is fair. Do you know what? Actually, fine then.
So what have you been dedicating your time towards?
Technically, I suppose it is adventuring, and you asked me to take that out of the equation. So actually, 100% studying.
Studying what?
What?
Studying what?
I've been looking at Eltharine, so I've been learning that.
Why?
Because some of the texts are in Eltharine.
Not to get your doctorate.
Are they not?
No.
Well, I mean, it has uncovered some very interesting things. Actually, I recently learned some stuff around vampire metaphysicology.
You clearly didn't read the book.
That's definitely not a word.
It's early morning. I tripped over. It just affects. I'll show you. And
I don't care.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, test me.
Your brilliance is not in question. Your dedication is what's in question.
I've been doing some work.
Some is not the word we are looking for.
No, that's
is it?
fair enough. You asked me to be
So-
direct.
And she leans forward. I think we all know what you've been doing. Shh. Oh, what's he been doing in his room by himself?
I love it when he catches Yumi's hand.
When you say we,
I know that I normally do this in private, but this time we're not, because I feel it is important that you realize what you are actually doing. I would like you to give me one clear fact from that book you won't put down. Give me one. Give me one. You've been studying it for weeks. Give me one.
I've never rolled well looking at it. I don't.
What book?
The book you've seen. You've seen it a few times, yeah?
Yeah.
Just make sure it's
He's
clear.
giving him a chance.
Usually
But-
covering his modesty when we interrupt.
The book that I asked you to look at for me once, twice.
And then never let me look at it again.
Or me. We've both offered.
All right. Oh, well, yes. I
Do
just didn't know
yourself
the.
a cool test, please. Difficulty.
Oh.
Difficulty 8.
Oh. Okay, let's go for
I mean,
a
you
crit.
might
might
crit.
crit.
Crit or nothing, baby. No.
Is he going for the rune fight?
It's because 7 fails.
7 fails. Gerhard backs into his room, bashes it shut, and immediately regrets it not having a lock. As he's sitting on the other side of the door.
1 second, just
As he
give me
picks up the
one.
book, stuffs it into his shirt. So that, there we go, it's yours now. You feel so much better now that it's between you and them. So much better.
It's actually doing stuff. Don't start doing that.
You feel so much better. You think they might try and take it away from you.
So many questions.
As on the other side of the door, Gerhard.
Yes. Sorry, don't really know what happened there. Open it up. Hello, everyone.
As she looks at your chest,
Very
the
obviously.
book
Yes,
shaped.
Elric and Alamanowite's eyes are meeting in a meaningful fashion. It's not about a sex game.
Oh.
It could be.
You misunderstood.
Yeah, no, the book. Yeah.
The book.
He starts putting his robes back.
As Greta backs away one and goes, "Oh dear."
Do I need to get my
Alamanowite
hammer?
will look at Dr. Flaster. Like,
She says, "This is quite beyond my province."
Right.
Gerhardt,
Yes?
you have been studying that for some time. And
Yes.
some of it is written in Reichspiel. I know because I've been in the room while you've been reading it
No, I've not
at
noticed.
points, and I've told you to put it down and pick something else up. And I read it upside down. It was just last night that I realised that I couldn't recall what I'd read.
Oh,
can
really?
we see that he's hiding it? In his...
Or is he looking particularly swollen?
He's been working at it. Work out in a very blocky way.
So when Alamanowite gives a nod,
This is my
I'll
peck.
grab him.
Elric,
One centimetre.
Alamanowite's gonna nod at Elric, and Elric's gonna grab him, and she's gonna go for the book.
Rushing! Full rush! Okay.
No!
It is time
Stop.
to do everything in your power to stop them.
No, I command you to stop. Stop it. What are you doing? Get off me. Stop it.
Dodge test.
Right.
4 successes.
Can we hear this on deck?
Sadly, they are below deck.
That's
but-
very sensitive. Don't touch that. 2 successes.
What would I roll to grab it? Melee brawling?
Melee brawling.
Sleight of hand?
Slight hand if it was small and you're attempting to palm it, but no. I mean, nice try.
I also have big hands. Books are relatively small.
I've passed.
Elf bullshit.
Passed 0 successes, but I do have fast hands.
That's not going to be quite enough. Okay, as you've got your hand on the book, he's pulled away.
I've
You've
restrained
got,
them.
He's got you in a grapple as he's got you from behind, and you're
listen,
like, it's a
I grew up with 2 younger brothers. I know this game. Get off!
Luitpold.
Luitpold's coming.
Is going to say, now, Geralt, the thing you got to know about Sigmar is, and he's going to blather him in an attempt to stop him
Fuck
struggling
you!
more.
Think you're gonna know about sciences?
Wait, what?
So I've got 4 successes.
Do yourself a cool test.
Right, get fucked. Well, it's 1 success.
One success better than none as you sit there. Wait, what? Socially stunned. Does that when you're stunned? That doesn't stop you doing defensive maneuvers. It only stops you doing
Anti-blather.
offensive. It won't stop you gripping onto your book.
Well, it will. His hands on his arms will.
That's a completely different outcome. You're pulling. Do yourself a strength test, please. And I'd like it contested with your
But
strength.
I've now got an
Get off.
advantage, right? Because I want to contest the test with him.
Yeah, I'm quite happy for that. You're in a good position. He is
6
definitely not.
successes.
Do I need to
How many failures?
do a brawling to take it?
4 failures.
I'm putting you down.
2 successes to grab it?
As he pulls and then sits
derogatory.
backwards. Sorry, Ralph. And sits backwards, pulling your hands apart as you're like, no!
No, get off.
And Alamanowite reaches in and grabs the book.
Stop it! I kick in the book.
Do yourself a melee brawling test.
My book.
Oh, except the good father has socially stunned you, no active attack.
No attack.
Okay, as he's just sitting there, then Sigma wouldn't like this. Wait, what? What are you saying, Luitpold? Why are you saying this to me?
You absolute son of a bitch. I'm so angry you used that.
That's how you use that.
That's how you use the
Is it how you use that? I'm more annoyed by that than anything else, by the way.
You're
I'd
at
like to use
0
my
wounds.
supernumerary talent.
No.
What?
You're at 0 wounds as your nose begins to bleed, your ears begin to bleed, your eyes begin to bleed,
I
your
didn't-
fingernails start bleeding.
Lady
at the
Marguerite.
edge. Buddy. Fingernails start bleeding. Basically, anything that's close to an orifice starts bleeding. Your fingernails down below, other things down below.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood going on, and it feels a little bit like you're
Melting.
sucking inwards as your face suddenly goes drawn and white, and the book in your hands twists slightly. Do yourself belly roll test.
Anything
3 successes.
As you grip onto it, and you can feel tension within it.
Lady Marguerite is who I'm calling for.
You'll need to shout pretty loud.
I'll run up
see
to
if
get
you
her.
can get a sense of what, if anything's happening magically.
You've got detect artifacts.
obviously,
What do you want me to? Oh yeah. Good shout.
Yes.
Good shout. I'll do that first.
I
5
presume.
successes.
5 successes. Disturbingly, nothing. And he thinks he's had a really good look at this. Yeah. Disturbingly nothing.
I've shouted to you a few times now as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I've looked at it a
It's
couple
more
of
so in
times
terms of
too.
the effect that's happening. I was trying to and
Okay, Gerhardt is looking really quite bad as the doctor comes rushing in.
Am I just crashed? Am I conscious now?
You are quite conscious. Yes, you're not
Right, okay.
unconscious. Okay, you're feeling it. It's you feel drawn. Your mouth feels all clothy and full. Your tongue is thickening in your mouth. It's their fault. This is happening because they've taken your book.
Yeah,
Don't they understand? Don't they understand you need it?
Back. I need it back. Give it to me.
Looking at-
Luitpold is going to reach out to the book and attempt a detect artifact test on it.
Yume's gonna run up to get Lady Magritte whilst they're kerfuffling.
Good. Jimmy goes running up.
I have passed.
You can see a rather panicked Yumi comes up above deck. She looks relatively panicked. She's skiting
What was it that
over
bad?
towards the hole.
Don't tell Birdie about the blood.
Yeah.
So hungry.
So I passed, which means I learn if it is magical and
Number of
learn
successes?
up to successes don't really matter. It's just,
I want the number of successes.
just 2 then. Yeah.
It's not magical. It
Not
appears
magical.
entirely mundane. It seems entirely mundane.
Don't get anything.
Down below, Magritte is sitting in front of a mirror, which she's positioned up against some of the grain that's held in the hold. And she's very carefully doing her eyes. She looks up. Good morning.
Gerhardt is dying. I think we need your help now, please. You could do your eyeliner later.
She looks at you. Exactly what sort of help can I provide?
Well, it's a book that's sucking all his blood out.
Her eyes widen.
That's fair.
An artifact of some sort.
Well, he's been obsessing over it for weeks
comes over.
now.
Oh,
Apparently, he can't remember anything he read.
Greta's there to help her too, right? Greta stayed to help the lady
no,
when
Greta
she
was
came
sitting
in.
down below just
yeah,
watching.
she came down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
I
came
told her
down.
to stay.
And she goes, I might need a hand up. I find this ladder very difficult to negotiate. She might do well. Nope, she needs
There's always
she
a
needs
first
help.
time.
A big hand.
She's like,
Long arm. coming
Thank you
down.
very much. As you help her up, she pulls herself up. I'll do whatever I can.
Please.
So the book appears to be entirely mundane. You're currently holding it. Yes,
Well-
you can feel
Well, I've
it
looked
moving
at, like,
slightly.
I'm kind of thinking I'm going to give it back to him. See what?
On
Because, like,
your
if-
side,
but
roll
is the blood-
1d10, please.
But is the blood pouring out?
No, it's
Like
it's,
he
it's
might die.
It's dripping out of him. What'd you roll?
5.
5. Okay. Your right arm breaks.
Oh,
Okay, as the skin begins to suck in between the bones there. Your hand claws slightly as you fall backwards, and as you fall backwards, your arm falls down, and you hear another crack. But the pain from the initial break is so high, you don't even really feel the second break.
That's my writing arm.
As the doctor says, I require help to put him down. He might be dying.
Well, should I
still
give him
holding
the book back?
Yeah, Elric's still holding the book. I guess not his arm.
Should I give him the book back?
Don't give it to him, but maybe just place it near him.
Like left hand is still like reaching out to try and get it.
Book comes close. Right, do yourself an athletics test. The difficulty is sadly 6. No, you're in a mess. Okay, so the chances of doing this is very low.
It's success, but it's 0.
Okay, so his hand swipes and swipes at the
Can
air.
I touch the book to him? Like I've got more control than he does.
Upon doing that, a sudden flush of warmth hits you. Oh, that feels better. How dare they take your book? It's your property. How could they do this? Do they not realise that you are a noble? They are not. Shh, princess. Shh. They are not.
You don't count.
As she comes up and says, "Well, lead the way. Where is he?"
Towards the front. I'll show you.
And it often says, "So exactly what has happened? Can you explain it to me, please?" I thought the difficulty was going to be Luitpold.
No, Luitpold seems to be fine.
I
The
bet he
doctor.
does.
The doctor established that it's not the same person because the shadow had a broken arm recently, and he does not.
I wouldn't trust that.
Anyway, dying man, we can worry about Luitpold after.
As you come down, what are you doing with said book, you two? You've got hold of him. He's
Well,
lying
I'm
on the
keeping
ground
it
with
I'm
you.
setting him for Flaster.
And I'm keeping the
You
book
touched it
touched to
off
him
him.
at the moment to see. And as she comes down,
Grab.
Mm-hmm.
Claw-like hand wraps onto it.
does
and
it
pulls
improve
with
his skin?
all of his strength.
Does it
Strength
improve his?
Yeah.
4 failures.
As he weakly
But
pulls
does
at the
it
page.
improve the
Weakly
hand?
pulls at it.
that
Doesn't
he's
appear to,
touching?
no.
Right.
As
So
Dr.
she
Flaster
comes.
looks
Is
at
the
him
lady
and says,
coming
Just
down?
give it to me, you stupid elf!
This is quite beyond my ken. I don't
Yes.
know what to do.
Lady Marguerite, is she coming?
She's just arriving now as she comes in and looks
He's
at
been
the mess on the
obsessing
floor.
over this-
Looks at you.
He's been obsessing over this book. We don't remember what's in it.
Like
when
you.
I took it off him,
Like the good father attempted. Nope, failed that test too. No detect artifact test for her either.
when we took it off him, this happened. He started to bleed and shrink.
And snap.
As,
Shall I give it back to him?
what book is it?
We don't know.
Give it back to
It's
him.
from your father's library, though, isn't it?
No.
No,
No.
no, he
No?
got it
No,
in
they didn't-
He
they
got
didn't
it in
get it.
Uber's Reich.
Bought it.
He
Yeah.
bought it in
Oh,
Uber's
wow.
Reich.
Mm,
He's had it for about 4 weeks.
longer.
6 weeks? 2 months? About 2 months. Shall I give it back to him?
Yes.
Come back.
Blessed relief. Blessed relief. Blessed relief. Blessed relief. Oh, you're thirsty and hungry. Oh, do yourself an endurance test.
Oh, fuck me. Alright.
I don't think you're up.
Oh! That's a crit.
No, that's the bad.
Oh, no, that's the bad crit. That's the fumble. That's the fumble.
Did you fumble?
Let's get ready to
let's-
fumble!
I spent a fortune point on that bad. He
was
just
a
got
beautiful
excited because I
100
saw
back.
things. This I think is still a fail. Endurance, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. One fail.
As your stomach lurches and lurches, and all of the tea and breakfast that have been brought to you by your marvelous cook spills out of your mouth as your body racks and racks and racks. But you ensure it goes nowhere near the book. As he vomits.
Can I remember what was in the
As
book?
the doctor says, everybody who doesn't need to be in here, please get out of the room. Hold him tightly. As Magritte, eyes wide, looks down and says, I don't know what this is.
Can I remember? Elric couldn't remember what he'd read in the book,
I
right?
don't.
But could I remember?
Dan doesn't remember it. I just think he looked at it and couldn't make sense of
Yes,
it.
it didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
to
but
me,
but what? But it was 2 languages in it, right?
yeah,
Yes.
at least, yes.
And
It's a
I
bit
thought
classical
that
too.
one of them might have been. It was related to Eltharine. It wasn't Eltharine, but it could have been
That seems
an
fair.
arcane Eltharine
Mhm.
and classical. And you could understand classical.
read
And
classical.
I was trying to get him to give me the classical translation so I could try and work out the other bit. But then he wouldn't.
You thought
He
there might
stopped.
have been some form of anachrone.
He stopped letting me look at the book. It has classical translations of what I think is Anaquayan.
Do you wish to relinquish the book? She asks to you.
Like through. I'm feeling all this stuff now, right?
Yeah.
Is now that I've got
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
this feels like a problem,
Yeah,
yeah?
it feels like
Yeah.
your arm's broken. I imagine he's not doing that right now.
Yeah,
Maybe it's some sort of wobbly thing.
What did you ask? Sorry, I'm sorry. What was it?
Would you like to relinquish the book?
No.
Why?
Uh,
Tell me why.
do I know? Do I know? Do I know?
It's yours.
It's yours. Yeah, that's a good answer. It's yours.
You
Right,
feel
okay.
weird when you don't have it, I guess.
Yeah, because it's mine. Always try to take it off me. It's my book.
She is going to do her test. It does not appear to be magical.
That is what the father said.
Are you capable of seeing anything? You are trained in the colleges. Do you perceive anything from it?
Nothing that I can see.
I can't
There's
either.
some force, but I cannot pierce it.
Does that mean it might not be an artifact as much as the words within it? Has he Like, I don't know
Did
how
you
magic
manage-
works. Has he done some kind of ritual in
Right,
his own mind?
could we stop
Greta.
talking about the book, please? My arm is
Greta
broken.
says, I think I might know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course.
Says, there are certain creatures that exist near the northern gate, which take form and shape. I think the reason it doesn't look magical is because it's a living entity. I think it's a living book.
Does that mean you can see it?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, what does it look like just to
Well,
Luitpold's normal?
it's as dead as any other
Yeah.
creature out there. It's an edge of
but-
book
yeah.
and not much more to his
But then again,
senses.
lots of like animals don't particularly glow to him. It's heirs of Sigmar.
Or
Would suggest
trees.
it's some form of leech.
Yes. I was thinking a leech as soon as you said that.
Spiritual leech.
The way it sucked.
Which suggests it's not eating his physical body. It's not uncommon. There are various leeches that do this. I spent some time speaking to your people, elven traders, when I was in the south,
Oh.
and they spoke of such things.
Can I
She does
do
have
a lore
beasts.
Nagaroth test?
Oh, do you have Lord Nagaroth
No.
test? Yes, Lord Nagaroth.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, she's checking her memory banks. Could
I'm
this
gonna
be
take
the,
it for
where the
it.
Rotworm you saw came
Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. So,
6 successes.
I'll let him do his little talk first.
Dr. Foster, when we were under her castle, there was a bunch of rotworms, a lot of rotworms, that were following him.
Maggots.
And I could see in him for a short time. I don't know if it was my other sight, but there was something growing in him.
Blaster says, if this is some sort of spiritual leech, it is beyond my ability to heal. I can do whatever is possible with his physical corpus, but beyond that, it is, well, beyond me. Over on your side, so yes, there are all manner of odd creatures, and the further north you go, the stranger life can sometimes become. And because of the very nature of the laws of reality, some of them conform to the shape, the form of well-known things that people think about. It is very common around one of the most northern towers for things to form into books, to things to form into some relatively crude things as well. Stuff that people want, and they find them, use them, and often, if they're not careful, become enslaved with them. The Druki, the Dark Elves, have got all manner of these. Some of them are used as familiars. Some of them are repurposed for other things. Some of them are sent in to assassinate people because they don't realise that the fairly famous one, the large, what appears to be wooden dildo, isn't. And it's just sucking the life out of them.
Good God.
Yeah, quite.
You did say
That's
something.
science.
Yeah.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
It is quite literally sucking the life out of them, and they don't realise. They are subtle creatures from the edge of the Shadowlands to the north,
I have heard of these.
and they are expressly not magical.
I have heard of these.
Assuming it is that.
I have heard of something similar to what Greta says. Not magical creatures that take on the form of things that people want and suck their life away. It might explain is it? It's not Druhi, is it?
Pardon, Drew here, you mean?
Drew here.
Drew here. What's not Drew here?
Written down. The word.
No, not that you saw.
No.
As Greta says, well, if it is that, he needs to be weaned off it.
Mm-hmm.
It's my book.
This isn't like you. For a noble, you're actually not so bad. Well, you've given gifts to everyone. That's not like most nobles. So this is not you.
All right. Could you just all please just leave the room please? Because this is not a good look. And he kind of pushes himself up a little bit against a few of his books, just away from the
We're
puddle of
still
sick.
holding you.
Oh, could you get off?
No,
Please.
No.
do not let him go yet,
No.
says Blaster. We can't be sad that
Doctor's
you won't do
orders.
yourself an injury. And currently he's
well-
acting as a cushion.
Okay, I know you know what to do on this
If
one.
your bones are weak and your flesh is uncertain, We need to make sure that you're very carefully tended until we can get rid of that. Has anybody got a way of getting rid of that? How do we wean? She says, looking at Greta. Greta says, I don't know. All I know is that you shouldn't get yourself into this position.
I mean,
on your side, there's actually an extra layer. You've got 6 successes. Here comes layer number 2. They can bring significant advantage as long as they're not, draining your life from you. In that, they are actually more like a symbiote.
Or a familiar.
Or like a familiar.
well,
But
she
they're
didn't say that
non-magical.
before, yeah.
They're a symbiote, which means that they can bring significant advantages as long as you don't let them drink too much.
Brilliant.
It's all about holding them at the right point. You might not want to say that. You might want to do so. But you don't know how it works. You just know that these things exist. Many of the sorceresses from the north, they use these as familiars. And they gain as much as they give away.
If it is what I think it is, then it is not corrupting. It is not a force of the ruinous powers. It's more like a non-magical familiar, like having a dog who fetches you things and in return you feed the dog. If the dog eats too much of your food, there will be none left for you. But the dog still fetches you things, and if you control its appetites, then you're in a nice relationship with a dog.
Except the food you're feeding the dog is yourself.
Yes, but we feed everything all the time. When I breathe out, I feed. When I breathe in, I drink.
It's not the same.
It is the same. It's just a creature.
So there is a difference between giving a dog a chicken leg that you would have eaten for your dinner and letting the dog drink your blood and eat your flesh. It's not the same.
But no, it is.
I think it's
is.
exactly the same.
At a
Maybe it is for
fundamental level.
elves. Maybe it is. Not for humans.
I would prefer a dog to this current situation.
All right. It is like a baby.
Conceptually, yes,
it is
works.
like a baby who drinks your milk, and you must make sure it does not drink too much.
Better? Worse?
She looks so satisfied with herself, like super satisfied.
as a group, have we been observant enough to know? Has he
Luitpold's
brought
face-
it with him everywhere?
No, he's left it in the barge.
Yeah.
frequently.
So he has to give it up himself. There's no. We can't take it from him. He's been without it for a long time.
Or he
But the
just,
second that we took it, that's what causes the problem. So
or you just come to an accord with it.
I just think it's a book.
It's not just a
Not
book.
just a book.
has
When
this
we
ever
took it-
This
happened with
feel
another
this
book?
like I know, but like from
You're
my
rational.
experience.
You've got more than enough rationality to decide whatever you wish to decide.
Okay, fine.
You don't
I'm
need
not.
me
I'm
to-
not.
No,
I'm
you're
not Smeagolin, right?
No,
Okay.
no, we're fine there.
It's not just a book, because when I took it off you,
No, yeah,
your
come on.
orifices bled and your arm broke.
Yes, admit. Okay, bad. Good in. Yep.
All of his orifices.
Everything says. Okay, maybe not a book then. Fine. Living book. Which I actually quite like the idea of. You said. Did you say powers, or I'm mixing whether?
She hasn't said that it could bring you advantages yet. She's just said that you could come to an accord with it.
Okay, fine.
Like a
So,
familiar. Familiars bring benefits. It could bring you benefits.
how do we feed
Familiar
me?
with benefits.
How do we feed me enough that I don't feel?
You just don't read it too much. I think reading it is probably when you feed it.
Right. Okay. So I limit my reading to an hour a night. And you don't try and take it off me anymore because apparently.
How long have you been reading it every night?
Whenever you've had the opportunity.
Yeah, so I think the better question is, when have I not read it?
No, but to be clear, last night we came back to the barge at, say,
You were back in the early evening. You don't know.
the early evening.
Yes.
And we have woken up in the early morning.
Yes.
How much of last night did you spend reading that book?
Well, I actually 4 hours.
At least.
I think. I don't know.
You didn't sleep much.
The
And
time
we
seems
know
to
he
just go.
reads quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fucking burned through this.
So
shit.
you're just reading the same thing.
Well, no, it
over.
seems different.
You're
each
figuring it
time.
out. No, you're figuring it out. There's secrets in here.
So you read that book for 4 hours, and you read other books for 6 hours. And when did you sleep?
You're not strictly sure, but right now you feel pretty weak.
I think last slept maybe 2-3 days ago. assuming this is relatively normal behaviour actually by now.
So
I-
you
I-
do
I
not
think-
sleep, and yet you get up every day, and we don't notice you haven't slept. That's unusual.
Well, I mean,
As Doctor says, well, clearly you've gained some form of addiction to this thing.
well, addiction has a negative connotation.
I agree.
So does bleeding from every orifice.
Yes. Well, don't try and take my book from me. Or living book. I have to think of a name.
She looks at you. I am of the conclusion that the book didn't make you bleed.
So what made me bleed?
You.
What?
You.
I made myself bleed.
It's how your body is responding to the current situation, but you're so desperate for it, willing to do anything. There is something that has been done to you. I don't understand it. Looks over. Milady, is there anything that you can say to this? As Greta looks over and says, well, this is quite beyond my particular ken. This is not something that I have investigated any great degree, but if it's a creature...
What if... Sorry, you mean?
I was thinking, back in the East End Waldorf, when there were people we were looking after with the Shadians who maybe had too many drugs or were addicted to something or another, we used to give them other things instead to kind of take off the edge a little bit and slowly wean them off, like you said. Maybe if we could find some kind of...
I do have some pharmaceutical alternatives, perhaps.
Could we put the book to one side for a moment, though?
I know the answer, says the doctor. Yes, I know the answer. What you require is spit. Are you aware of spit?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I have done it a few times. Occasionally. Well, sort of.
Can I just, before we get into spit, the book, I'm not going to take it off you, but metaphorically put it to one side. If the book didn't cause him to bleed and his bones to literally break, what did within him? My lady, can you see if he has been affected by a spell? Or is it an illusion?
She says, oh no, this is something that's quite real, says Margarita, as the doctor comes over and says, yes, it's absolutely real. What I think has happened here is something that he has undergone a change because of what the book has done, the parasitic relationship between the two of them. This is his defense mechanism. This is trying to make you feel as your bone clicks back into place. Oh. And the flesh fills out. They've got you.
What?
They've got you. They figured out your trick.
They got me, or...
Yeah, they got you. They figured out your trick. It was all fake. You just wanted your book back.
I cracked my own... As in, just went, yeah, look at this.
He consciously
dislocated.
Did that. Yes, he consciously did that. He broke his bone and it went back together again. It got you.
Gerhard's turned metal as fuck. That's amazing.
It's not good.
Yes, it is.
Good.
It's fine. It's just a creature.
You should try that.
It's just fine.
Yeah, you should try vampire blood. It's awesome.
Okay, so
So glad Birdie's not here.
As his flesh begins to pump slightly.
You're looking better.
No, I feel better.
Did you not
actually.
just hear what happened to his bones?
Oh, I really slapped myself.
He just knitted them back together.
Greta nods and says, right, so him and the creature, they have drawn too close. He has taken on some of its traits. It has taken on some of his. They're going to have to be separated somehow.
Well, hang on, Greta. Sorry.
Think rationally.
No, I am. Let me say what I'm going to say.
You're not thinking rationally.
This is why.
It is.
Let me say what I'm
your
going to say.
rage is palpable.
Let me say what I'm going to say before you start, shutting it down in the first place. All right?
Yes.
And you've just mentioned something there, right? Taking on a part of me and it's taken on a part of...
Yes.
Yes, okay, so if a part of me is in this book...
It can count really fast.
And it also doesn't know how to blather.
I'm doing it right now! I am doing it right now! So surely then if you accept me as who I am already, and whatever that is, and if I am influencing this book, vice versa, who says it is bad?
Birdie, perception test.
Just as an idea. So?
That's either very good or very bad.
It convinced you that fooling us
Am I
by
chilled?
breaking the bones.
Yeah. You're up the,
In which case, 6 successes. And a
superb.
crit.
Oh, crit. Roll
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
More successes, please.
And another 3, so 9.
Sweet. Up ahead, as you're straining, not really hearing much. Why are they coming up on top of the deck? Why are they doing everything below decks?
I'm huffily
up ahead,
doing
you
ropes.
can see a tall ship. Yeah, it's a ship. It's relatively large. It's got one main deck, forecastle and aft castle as well. And a host of weapons that looks like cannons possibly sticking out on that side. As you look around, oh, there's another one and another one. It's not a blockade. It's quite far away, but it's definitely downriver from where you are. Where she is, Clotilda, she won't be able to see that because she's sitting in the wheelhouse at the back.
I will yell for Alamenowithe because I want to use a telescope.
Shout out for Alamenowithe from
Yep.
above. You'll hear that.
And then I'll go tell Blatilda what I can
You
see.
can just shout, just call
Yeah,
out.
because she's got naval knowledge, hasn't she?
Yeah,
So
totally.
she'll be able to explain
And
it.
she'll come out and go, fuck, it's ship swords.
Is that good?
River Wardens.
Bad? Oh,
Shit.
well, we are legitimate.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, but, you know, make sure his Iron Mighty ship is hidden somewhere. If they come aboard, they might come looking.
Good point.
Don't worry about it. I've had an idea.
Oh no.
It just makes us worry more.
Alamenowithe coming upstairs. What's going on?
It looks like we've got company.
What kind of company?
1, 2, 3, as you head over towards the prow. 3 ships up ahead. A whole bunch of rowboats are out between them, and you can see 3 barges are currently sitting beside them. One barge is moving away, going upstream.
We could put Gerhardt in the smuggling compartment.
I'm more
You
worried
don't
about.
have one.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. We
Do
have
you?
a boat.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do have one.
We built
Oh,
we
built
built
one.
Got
one.
one, yeah.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, we paid for it and everything.
Love
And
that. We're legitimate. We have a smuggling department. Would you like
It's
We're
just
going
where,
to phone you
it's
up,
where we
right?
keep the legitimate goods that happen to be valuable.
yeah,
and illegal?
Which is
No.
Gerhardt.
like Gerhardt.
Valuable.
Legitimate goods that happen to be valuable.
There's some jewels in there right now.
What about the Lady Marguerite? Who is
Is there room for 2 in there?
She's strictly a noble of the empire. No one's looking for her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Double
should be
fine.
fine.
Unless they've got any way of detecting.
word wouldn't have travelled.
Although if they do, a secret compartment won't help. So yeah.
But
Down below,
if
plus-
they
Down
Over
below,
here.
down below, where you all are. Greta says, yeah, as I see it, the issue is that the pair of them have become alike. And he has gathered some of the book has gathered some of him, which is the distressing part, which means it may be intelligent. As Margarita goes, well, there's only one thing for it, we have to dissolve it. This relationship is unholy. She says, I mean, unholy is not the language that I would use. She says, yes, well, regardless of language, you can't allow that to stand. Okay, cool test from Gerhardt.
Okay. I'll just ask you a little question. I'm just so uncool, guys.
This is not news.
Not cool.
Do you know what? I'm going to spend a fortune point. I'd like to be cool. Come on. I'm so cool! One success.
One success is
not
better than
enough.
none.
Hit it with difficulty 2. That was
It's difficulty 1.5. No. A brief rise of panic swells in your throat at the idea that they might try and dissolve. But you passed, which means that you're also in a position where you can happily rationalize that's not your thought.
Oh, okay. Do I...
That's external.
If
Wait.
I'm getting thoughts in, now I know this, do I feel a channel? You know what I mean? Do I feel a little vice versa? Can I theoretically, in my mind, talk to the book? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, it would take some sort of crazy, absent-minded genius to perhaps break that particular bridge,
Yeah,
make it work.
yeah.
do yourself a neat intelligence test.
Oh, yes.
Right in
Write
your
a note
wheelhouse
and
now.
slip it
Come
into
on.
the book. You know?
Oh! Oh no, that's not the same thing. I got excited because I thought
You've impaled it with your mind.
I put it through!
just 2 successes. I got excited because it doesn't matter. Just 2 successes.
Up above, as Gerhardt's mind starts pushing, and he thinks, but maybe the mind is not as entirely constrained by the open maw spreads before him.
Oh no.
In his mind. Up above, you've got a real issue. You're sailing directly towards ship swords.
We just like
Carry on.
be cool. I'm gonna run downstairs to these guys.
Can we sail in a casual way?
Just be cool. Just be cool, everyone.
Just kind of
Yeah.
go along.
We really are going
How
full New
how
Hope
far
here.
away
Yeah.
am I going to be able to get him out and into the secret compartment before
Up
they
and
can
round.
see
Oh yeah,
us?
you've got quite some distance. I mean, if they're looking at you directly with a telescope, they might see you taking somebody into a different location. But yeah, you
He can crawl below the sides of the thing, right?
As long as he brings his book with him.
So,
So
the
I'm
open
running.
maw
Yeah,
in your mind,
right.
you can hear it.
Okay.
Like sibilant whispers and the rustling of parchment on pages. Oh, it's been recording your life within the book. It's been recording your life. And adding to the other lives it's recorded.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, you know it was a flute once. It just took the life out of the flautist. 3 years of almost perfect playing. And then she died.
This is a real crossroads, 27-year-old kind of moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andy, what's the deal? Tell me what the deal is.
It's not clever enough to offer a deal. But you do know that when you've got your book, maybe it's the root of your intelligence.
That's not true.
But if you don't have the book, it will take your intelligence.
That's terrifying.
Because that's what it's feeding on. In your case, your intellect. And as long as you're holding it, you have your intellect. As long as you're by it, you have it.
But otherwise I don't. And apparently can repair my own bones at will.
It's a
and break.
shapeshifter.
So I'm a shapeshifter? Is this a
That's
shapeshifter?
kind of what you just did, yes. You think. You're not
Okay.
sure.
So-
The flautist was burnt as a witch. Huh. But it's because the flautist, you can see her life. She slept with someone else's husband pretending to be the wife. Oh my God. It's going to kill you. You know it's going to kill you. You know it. You would be victim number 721.
Oh, okay, all right.
Quick bit of addition. It's been alive, terrifyingly, for only 72 years.
Did you just use super
The longest,
Yeah.
the longest living was the flautist. It was the one that tricked it for
Just
longest.
3 years.
For 3 years. The shortest living was about 3 or 4 seconds. Just sucked dry. Didn't have the wit to avoid it.
This is difficult, but can I feel how much it's taken? Can I feel how much is left?
That's going to require a perception test.
Yeah.
Okay, Father. He just seems to have glazed over.
And his pupils just go.
Success, no, nothing, just success.
Just a success?
Yeah.
Guess maybe 90%?
Okay. 90% gone?
Yeah.
Whoa! Alright.
Elric's go forward!
You've been
Playing
bested
with
by a
actual
fortress.
terrible books!
You've literally fucked around and found out.
It's kind of how I approach this.
I mean, if only everyone in the party had warned you against this, right? Oh, wait.
All right.
At least he has a shadow.
Cold.
Thanks. I've always liked you, Elric. Okay.
Before I get burnt as well.
I'll come back in the room. All right. So here's interesting. Things have changed. Right.
Alamenoweth, you're arriving.
We've got a blockade of ship swords. River wardens? I think we should get him into the smuggling compartment. We have a smuggling compartment.
Oh,
It's under my bed.
no, that makes sense.
Of course it
But
is.
there's no real need.
Why? You're wanted.
No, I know that. Just
So,
Do
face.
yourself an endurance test.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I don't like this.
How badly did you do?
4% over.
Oh, we just pass out. No need. They can't arrest an unconscious man.
then we can just shove him in.
It's literally 50. Yeah, no, I'll do a fortune point. Let's try and
Hey!
get this back.
I do like using up all these fortune points early.
No,
That's worse.
that's worse. Yeah, 3 fails.
His cheekbone breaks. His eyes blink out, and he falls unconscious. As he falls to the side.
But do I look different if my cheekbone's
Does he
broken?
look
Like,
dead?
that would
Definitely
fuck stuff
looks
up.
like his cheek's broken.
Well, it'll be easier to move now, right?
Right, let's do it. wrap him up in something so it doesn't
yeah,
look
hold
like
on.
a person.
Doctor, should we move him? Is it safe?
Well,
He's getting moved.
Yeah.
She
Wrap him in
takes
talc.
the book and puts it to the side. Well, at least that's taken away from him.
Was it removable now that I've passed out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
back
leave
then.
it all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
leave it around
Yeah,
the
like we're leaving it in your room. We're
was
not
the
burning it or
idea.
anything.
That it was getting
Yes.
taken away. Interesting. Okay.
We just need
who
to
looks-
knock you out.
He clearly has some form of psychological addiction to it.
Yes.
And it's
Can
making
we-
him act out of character.
Let's walk and talk.
Yeah. Wrap him in talc.
Right, so we're lifting him.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Unhook the hammock from either side, wrap him in that. Who's carrying it? I imagine the pair of you.
Yeah, try and
Oh,
make it look
The
like
ship
not a
swords
body.
are. The ship swords. The ship swords.
Really, you're doing the bulk of the lifting. To be honest.
Just drag him so it doesn't look like you're
Bang,
carrying
bang,
a
bang
body.
of the head.
As it goes
And
past,
then
it's
you
like,
could probably just chuck him
Yeah.
over the shoulder.
Yeah, totally.
did you kill Gerhardt? Well,
Oh, he's wrapped up. It could be almost
fine.
anyone in there. As the father is coming out the back, holding the head to make sure it doesn't bash against all the stairs. As you're making your way up and over towards the main hold, Margarita is looking on with actual concern. Greta is looking on with no concern at all. Much more of a.
Greta, we're going to put him in the compartment. I'm going to need you to stay in that room
I'm
with
going
the
to
baby and
I'm
be very
going to have
posh.
to go into the compartment as well.
Right.
I can't be out here.
Then, Lady Margarita, you're going to need to be in the compartment with the baby, looking very posh.
You want me to be with the baby?
I'll be there too.
Right, of course, I can do that.
Just so they won't rifle through a lady's room.
They will not touch anything in my room.
Exactly.
perfect.
It means we've
It's
got
the-
an extra. It means Gerhardt's room will now be empty, so we need someone to fill it.
Just have
Skip.
one of Skip or
Who looks the most booky?
Like, it can also be,
Well-
be a cabin that we're just using.
In fact, there's no hammock in it now. Fine, good.
it's a library.
Is the doctor with
Adjunct.
us?
Um,
She called us.
Yes.
Do you have any kind of like sedative that will ensure he sleeps for the next little while and doesn't wake up and cause a scene?
It would be my pleasure.
I'll say
See
to
that hammer?
Lady Magritte, so as we're going, Greta, say, Lady Magritte, we do not have a license for carrying passengers, so you will have to be my partner.
Staff.
I will have to be your staff.
Yes.
No, but then why are you on the boat?
Because I wish to be.
And we've let you come on for free?
It's my boat.
No, we have the ownership papers.
She rolls
It's
her eyes.
our boat.
And I've requisitioned it.
Right. You requisitioned
and
you
I insisted,
requisitioned
as
it
a
to
good
get
s-
a. Yeah,
As
right.
a good Sigmarite, we have to do what the noble says.
Excellent. So it's your baby then?
Yes. She says,
I mean, it could be a foundling.
Yes.
yes. Says,
Well, everyone else has gone upstairs. You may snooping around. Because there is little joy in her life now, so all she gets to do is snoop around in her friends' rooms.
Does she feel like the book is a rival? is that the vibe we're getting?
Yeah, I think
Stay away from my man!
it's interesting. Many of the books have got his name inside them, written presumably by himself, again and again and again.
Doesn't say
Down
red
margins, down the edges, along this, in between lines.
Full title
Great.
So let's hope
Oh,
they can't
absolutely.
What,
read.
his full name?
His full name, yeah.
Yeah.
As you flip
Chuck
through,
overboard, chuck overboard.
And there, I think I understand him now. He's not in control of himself.
Well, no, that was clear enough.
Flick,
So
flick,
there's two
flick,
of you.
flick.
Maybe we should seduce the book.
It's
Like, oh, I like
definitely
the round corner.
odd. The book sits in the corner. I mean, it's just a normal book.
Is this another thing? I'm going to have the rune fang, I'm going to have this book. I'm just going to be carrying
You're going to
stuff
look like
around
one of those
for
little
the
ladies
humans.
from
Yeah.
Mad
Those
Labyrinth.
humans in their
Oh, no. Let me reroll that.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool. Everybody be cool.
No.
You.
One
Be cool.
failure.
Oh.
You know,
Take it.
you could always re-roll that one more time.
Unless is she,
Taking a
is she
point
chill?
of corruption. No.
No.
You could take a point of corruption and listen to the dark whispers of the cloud. They're very good gods.
I feel like I've listened to too many dark whispers recently, and it's come to bite me in the ass.
You may. Sits down. Opens the book. A little tear in her eye as she sees illustrations of prancing foxes
Oh, that's mean.
done in the style of Nepal. Huh. There apparently was once a lost. Meanwhile,
Yay!
meanwhile,
We can be joined together by a book.
Oh, God.
with this book IV went. Meanwhile,
It's a very healthy
Gerhardt
polygamous
is
relationship.
taken down
we've got
into
there.
the hole beneath. Greta is locked down into there as well. Candle snubbed out.
I feel like that makes sense for where the secret compartment is.
I think that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense to me. Sounds lovely. As the foot shover glides its way towards the ship swords, one of which is far larger than the others. It's fair to say this is not, strictly speaking, a nice little River Warden ship. This is an actual warship. One of the ones that's clearly been designed to... There is a deal with Marienburg, anyone with Lower Empire knows this, where certain limitations are placed upon the Navy, the Imperial First Fleet in particular. But those limitations, which apply to both sides, it was a treaty that was done about 100 years ago, did not apply to the River Wardens. In time, the River Wardens became a navy untowards to themselves, particularly in the Reichland. And this particular navy, the River Wardens, their ship swords, are known for taking down privateers, those who have been paid by Marienburg to ensure that their trade is supported rather than somebody else's. River Wardens are not just simply peeps out on the rivers trying to take bribes. Some of them are. Many of them are just controlled by a local lord, and it'll just be almost just a rowing boat that makes its way around inspecting other ships. Others, like these ones, though, are proper professional naval troops, soldiers, marines, whatever you wish to call them, riverines. Salties. No. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those ships. A whole bunch of rowing boats going out between them, and you are ferried towards a queue. As one of them points out, big bicorn hat as he stands on the in the middle of his rowing boat and goes, "Do not wait!" Says, "Go join the queue!" Says, "Where's the barge master?" Bloodhilda says, "Yeah, it's me." Calls out. Says, "Right, you make sure you got everything needed, your bill of ladings." Says, "And they want to see your company papers."
I'll say to Elric, we should probably have our licenses handy and get ready to present ourselves.
You have a license? Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting point. Can Elric own shares in a boat?
Yep, he's allowed to enter business.
It's not like land.
It's just Gerhardt can't.
Just go.
Which is handy. It means he's not on the paperwork.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't need to account for
Named
him.
after me.
No,
It's
not
not.
anymore.
Foot shover.
Foot shover. We
Yeah, I
renamed
know.
him.
We
That's a
called
middle
it that,
name.
but it was originally.
Yeah, Greta did that for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Now he's conflicted.
In a tiny cupboard with her.
Foot shovel's amazing.
It's a good half a bell of waiting before eventually a tall fellow with a tricorn skull and a knife sticking behind the skull in his hat.
How tall?
He's like he's a stubby little person in comparison to you. And you.
What Alan Menowith is thinking is that like breastfeeding the baby's probably not a bad idea either.
I'll definitely put.
That'd be very upsetting for them. Well done.
Comes aboard and wanders over. Says, "Need to see the shipmaster." Greta says, "Yeah, I'm here." Bloodhilda, pardon me, says, "I'm over here." Thanks. And then comes over and says, "See your bill, ladies." Yeah, you good company. Very good. We're going to need to see your cargo. Yep. Says, "Yeah, Birdie, you start lifting the slats, will ya?"
Aye.
We've got ourselves a scholar aboard. The library's down below. Library? It's not on your bill. Yeah, because it ain't cargo. Well, I think there should probably be a taxation involved there. Yeah, I bet you do. She says, "Well, I don't bloody think so. Her ladyship won't like it." "Her ladyship?" He says, "Yeah, her ladyship." Well,
And by the way, I didn't specify, but I was thinking this, so I'll take it. I should have specified. No, it sounds really dodgy now, but I took when I put Greta in and Gerhardt in, I've taken the jewels out, obviously.
the jewels.
The jewel. We've got cargo that's grain. We've also got
the
cargo
ones that
that's
sit down.
jewels.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
jewels.
We should have called our barge Her Ladyship, though. That would have been good.
Next one.
Her lady bird.
Lady
Yeah,
Bird.
quite. 3 other river wardens come on and they do an inspection of the goods. There's quite a lot of poking and prodding around the books, moving around, trying to figure out why there's so many books sitting inside. They ask about it, they have a discussion about it. They're like, "I don't really know, should this be taxed?" Well, I don't know, so what do you think so? "I really don't know. I mean, it's not on the bill. I mean, what have they purchased? The books. And we need to have an interview with Her Ladyship.
Oh, good luck with that.
Her Ladyship refuses to speak. She says, "My doctor can talk to you."
Is that Dr. Flaster?
Dr. Flaster, who says, "You will not touch Her Ladyship's books. If you touch Her Ladyship's books, you'll pay for them." One of them widens his eyes. Says, "Did you touch Her Ladyship's books?" I didn't. We were just doing inspections. You touched Her Ladyship. Her Ladyship? Your books have been touched. Lady, what should we do? And she looks forward. Her Ladyship is not best pleased. You may leave. It's just, you may leave. Yeah. And you're gliding out past the patrol. And that was that. Thank you for that. I thought it better you talked. You know these people better than I do. But I don't normally speak to these sort of people.
You
like
are
this.
you are actually amazing.
You did admirably well.
Thank you very much. Matilda says, right, so we ain't dead. Shouldn't we get his lordship out, assuming it is his lordship?
We'll leave it a bit longer.
Yeah, leave it till he wakes up. How long was he sedated for?
Maybe let Greta out.
Yeah, we'll let Greta out.
I just want to leave it until we're like well away from them and they're not going to come.
Chasing us. Yeah.
It's an hour later that you find Yumi. Is missing.
Where's Yumi?
Oh, no.
You ain't seen her, right?
She's not gone in the water again, has she?
Where did we see her last? Where was she?
When we were all downstairs, I think.
In Gerhard's room.
In his room.
The book's gone.
Yumi!
Yumi!
Can I please have a cool test from you, please, Yumi?
I think like Luitpold will just
Just
start
in the
blundering
corner.
around, waving his arms everywhere in the hope that he bangs into her.
Ah, so she does disappear from your sight.
uh,
as well, doesn't she?
0 success.
So, success, perfect. You can choose whether you wish to respond or not. But you have found out, according to what's inside this book, things.
And stuff.
And stuff!
Oh, stuff and things.
Things and stuff!
That doesn't seem so bad.
Wow.
It's fine.
And it's such a pretty picture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the sun.
She should probably answer though. She will reappear.
You are a bad influence, Gerhard. Join me. As Yumi
Quiet,
comes out
cutty
of
boy.
Yumi comes out of the rope store, where you'd already blundered in twice, swinging around. Apparently, you just chose not to go swinging near her. As you come out, clutching onto the book.
Alamanwai's still downstairs. She's going to let them out now.
Sounds good.
I mean, he's probably say to Greta, I hope you didn't get knocked up when you were in there.
Again!
Being knocked up once by someone like him.
I know.
We can't leave him down here.
No, let's get him out.
Right, you
Well,
take
maybe
one
put
end,
him
I'll
on
try
the
and take
bed.
The other.
Elric.
Wait, do you have the book? Is she openly holding
I mean,
it?
she's clutching into her chest like that. Oh, the look of disappointment!
Yumi, what have you just witnessed?
What do you mean?
With Gerhard, what did you just see?
But it holds the secrets of getting your folks back.
Yeah. What he said.
I don't hear this disappointment.
She's hearing voices now too. Oh no!
It does. They're in there. It shows you how to get your folks back. You just need to read more.
But like, maybe, I don't know, I said that they could have like positive things too, right?
No.
I don't think she did.
I'm very bemused by this whole conversation because I have no idea about this book.
Elric is slowly approaching you, like you would with an animal.
And Luitpold's
You've
on the
got
other side
animal
so that she
affinity
can't.
too. Easy now.
Everything's going to
Easy.
be okay, Yumi.
But they could tell me how to fix the things with my
No,
fox.
it'll tell you what you want to hear. It won't actually have any truth in it. It'll keep you reading just like it kept him reading.
Like religion.
No, religion tells you what you don't want to hear. That's the difference.
Yumi, we saw it with him. It's better if you just give it up.
Yeah.
Do I feel like I could?
You think that they've got the wrong of it. They seem to think it's some sort of creature. They seem to think that it's some, but it's not. It's a repository of shadows, and it spins illusions, and those illusions have to work to entice You've pretty much figured it out. It does contain the secrets that you want. But it only contains the secret that you want because you want them. Which means, yeah, it might come at a cost. And Gerhardt might think he's breaking his bones.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm much dumber than Gerhardt is.
Street smart.
But it's just a repository. It's just a lie like all the rest of it. It's just part of the great joke. It's just something that's looking to feed. That much is certain. But to feed, it has to present nectar. And the nectar that it offers you is what you want. You just need a little bit more time to get that nectar out.
You may will try to leave by ducking under Elric's outstretched arms.
I mean, Luitpold will attempt to intercept, but it's
ready
ready
for any kind
Yeah,
of...
we're
Dodge
boxing
from
you in.
you and brawl melee from the pair of you.
We both just go right over. 4 successes.
3 successes.
No successes from me.
So we'd be assistant.
You duck past him. He grabs you. You've got your hands all over her. And
Phrasing!
Better phrasing there. Right?
oh, what a session. But you have grabbed her.
Yes, I've restrained her.
Restrained her.
Restrained
That's
her
the words
in
we're
an
looking
entirely
for.
appropriate way.
I said I was going to do this. I am taking no pleasure in it. I want to make that very
You're making
clear.
it work.
Despite all evidence to the contrary.
Oh, now I'm not even your type, am I? Let me go!
Hey, Luitpold, that's what you see her throwing a loose tantrum.
Can Luitpold attempt to extricate the book from her?
Yes, you can. Do yourself a cool test.
Yeah, because
No.
Yep.
If Elric does see him go for he'll
5
like
successes.
move her away.
5 successes.
Yeah.
You
Can
may
Elric
go
get-
to
I have a
bite.
question. Do you have a shadow?
No.
Minus 5 successes.
Oh.
As you grab the book. He's got the book.
I'll let go of it.
I know you won't.
No.
Oh, no, you won't. As your shadow comes swimming in behind you. And the sunlight from above
That's good,
comes
though.
in and it swims in.
Catch it! Catch it! Someone catch my shadow!
Oh, hold on.
Nope. You can't talk.
No, I know. I'm telling you guys, catch my shadow!
So
Sleep,
I
mate.
think we're in
Somebody put me to sleep.
Neverland. I think
Is
we're right.
You can get your shadow back using this book.
Yeah, you can.
You can get your shadow back using this book.
It's a book of
This
shadows.
book is a book of shadows. The whole thing is about shadows and illusions and lies.
So therefore I can't trust
It
this.
sounds like it's Alamanowite's book.
Alamanowite is coming
It's
back up.
Ladriel.
Yeah, it's all Ladriel. Veils
Curious,
behind
can
veils
we see
behind
his
veils.
shadow? Has his shadow come back?
Pardon? As you come up on deck and see him wrestling her holding on to the book, him holding onto the book, his shadow dancing around slightly like it's flapping in the wind at his feet.
This has all gone horribly wrong.
He turns around and looks.
How do you...
Bertie's wrapping rope.
Lady Magritte! She said she could catch the shadow.
She did.
Quick!
Yuma is growling at Luitpold.
Elric, make sure neither one of them get it, but they both touch it.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I can hold one of
Can
them.
I please have a contested strength test between you two?
Oh,
You
no.
may.
Can I
Help
be
her.
aided by Elric?
If Elric is trying to keep the book in your arms.
Yeah, there's no real way from.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I mean,
could
I
just hold
fumbled,
it.
so.
Okay, whoa.
Well,
I like this.
If I can assist somehow.
I roll 97.
Unless I'm chill.
Still not a fumble.
Unless I'm chill, in which
we
case I
are-
critted.
No, you have no advantage here. This is the opposite of a situation where you have
success,
advantage.
Good.
Okay, as you grab, you wrestle, and then you slip your hand and you go tumbling backwards into your own shadow.
Oh, that's not good.
And I did say in. As
I mean, I could totally fortune point that.
too late now.
Damn it!
As poof, the book's back with you, and you're so close. You'd think if you could just read it for just half an hour, maybe an hour, maybe a day.
You could time me.
No. If you want your fox back, we're going to see your parents. They'll know more about it. You said it yourself.
You put
A
the...
book that is some kind of force.
Meanwhile, Luitpold's vanished.
From the outside, as Luitpold falls down and collapses into his shadow.
As in, like,
And falls
Can I-
about an inch into the deck before he's repulsed by it. Something has happened there that is not normal.
Is
As
his
the
shadow
shadow skites off, wraps itself up the mast, reaches the flag, can't go anywhere, comes sliding right back down again.
I'm hoping Lady Magritte will be here soon.
Lady Magritte is indeed coming up. Gerhardt, you wake up.
Catch the shadow.
Vampire blood's not looking so bad now, is it?
Someone's trying to
pretty
take your book,
All right.
and the
He's
book
lying
is
on
the
them.
answer to all things,
Yes.
and it explains exactly what happened with that double. Now you are away from it, you can remember. It explains what's going on, the whole thing. It explains everything. It actually holds the secrets of everything.
It's a GM blog book.
What are you doing?
He's. So is Luitpold back now?
Yep. He's just sitting on the ground. He never disappeared from
Yeah.
your perspective. From
Is he-
her
Is he,
perspective.
is he
Oh.
back in the room?
Oh, yeah, you're back in the room.
Yeah. Is he moving back towards the book?
Touch the book, Luitpold.
No.
It brings his shadow back. Touch it. It does. I saw it.
All right, but I'll try and touch it, but not grab it. Back of his hand.
Test.
Get bonus because I'm using the back of the hand.
Is Baratul.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Barrow book.
Well, I mean, 2 successes?
Oh, nice. You fail. As your hand twists, you grab, and
But the shadow come back.
the shadow comes flying back again,
I'm
and it
hoping
sits
the
there
lady's
trying
there
to
now.
get away.
His
As
shadow.
Magritte comes up and says, "You need to channel Olgu
Right.
right now.
Okay.
Channel it from it."
This is earlier on. I never channeled.
Never channel
Never
Olgu.
channel. Should have taken that.
One
to
success.
containment.
Totally. One success.
Yep.
As you start
Including a third
pulling
one.
Olgu from it, she will. Oh, what was she going to use to do that with?
This is so exciting. I'm channeling Olgu. It never happened.
She is going to have to. She doesn't want to cut herself. She's going to call out. Does anyone have any chalk? Does anybody have any chalk? Anybody got anything that can
I've got-
easily mark?
Lucas does.
Yeah,
Not
he's
here.
he's
I've
hiding in
got
his
grey
cabin.
ink. I've got grey ink.
Gerhardt's got
I've
charcoal in
definitely
his
got.
room.
I've got plenties.
Oh, can somebody fetch me something
I'll
quickly?
go slide down the
Okay, you need to do another channeling test. Hold it in place. You need to go cool test.
Right.
Am I still trying to restrain Yumi, or is she?
She's
I failed.
nicely done.
I shall rummage around in
See,
Gerhardt's
it's doing a
quarters.
thing.
Pardon?
I
Six
shall
successes.
rummage about in
Excellent.
Gerhardt's quarters for his art supplies.
Books are lying out all over the place. You can see his name is
Careful.
spread out amongst them. In one of them, it says Gerhardt loves Yumi, with a little heart in it.
You go.
Yumi.
Different handwriting.
It definitely.
It'll cheer her up.
Here's the charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
As you
Grey,
come
I take it
running
grey
up.
ink wasn't helpful.
No. As she starts marking down an area around her.
Gaslighting
Another
you
channel
into
test,
believing
please.
it.
Yeah,
I was
no, tell me
purposely
about it.
not looking at this witchcraft.
2 successes.
Okay, and I have 2 as well. She will now step out of it. You need to do another test, please.
That's not a good
I
noise.
think
Can I have
I'll
a
need-
test, a cool test from you as well, please, Andy.
I'll spend a fortune point.
4
You appear to
successes.
be down in the hole. What are you doing?
6 successes.
But
Oh no, sorry, 7.
do I hear
Because
any
get
of this
plus one.
malarkey? Do I feel anything? Like what have I got? Coming in.
You're unsure. You're feeling kind of headachy.
Yeah.
But you do know that you don't have your book right now.
Right.
But yeah, you're entirely in control of your own actions.
Fine. Well, all right. Well, then I guess I'll head to my room.
You're going to go
I'm
out,
sort of
you're-
open up a little bit.
you'll open up and find yourself as you're inside.
Lucas.
A bark from the back. Did you pass that test?
Yeah, I got 7 successes.
Oh, nice. She has passed. As the shadow tears away from your feet and pulled into the circle. As she looks down, I do believe I caught it. Father should probably let go of that book.
Let go of the book.
The father does not let go of the book.
Can I assist
Grab
him
the
to let
book.
go of the book?
Can Alric attempt to just yank Yume away?
With you holding on the other side.
me holding
Okay,
onto Luitpold.
strength test.
Can I assist?
You me in the middle as
I'll
the book
assist.
receptacle.
Four successes.
Nice. 4,
0
2,
successes.
That's 5 in total then on their side, 2 on your side. That's enough to yank him free.
Huzzah!
You're back in control of
I will
yourself.
now hang on to
And
Luitpold.
yeah, you are quite convinced that book contains how to put your shadow back into yourself properly.
So it's overriding reason.
No,
in
you're
Luitpold's case.
convinced that's what it contains. Doesn't mean you need to do
Yeah.
anything about it.
But-
You're convinced that's what's in the book.
But he's also convinced that it's a book of shadows and lies,
Yeah,
which he inherently knows he therefore can't trust.
that's also fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is he in with his shadow now?
Pardon, the
No,
shadow
the
is
shadow is
sitting.
contained.
It's contained within the circle.
What do we
that
do
you mark.
now, my lady?
Ugh.
Your shadow, we've caught it.
Does that look like anything to Luitpold's vision?
Nothing. There's nothing there.
Even the circle doesn't.
Even the circle doesn't show you.
I can't sense it.
As you come up on the deck,
We can't see
oh,
yourself.
there's a big circle with she's got your book.
Oh.
She's got your book, and she's got Elric has got her. Birdie has got the father. There appears to be
I'm
a
all right now,
lot of
but-
gripping going on.
Fine, all right.
Actually, I
I'm
don't
not sure
like
really
it.
what's going on, but all right. Thank you, mate.
Again, Elric will take a step back as you approach.
No, I don't think you understand. This is the right thing to do.
No, just leave it a second, my lord. Just nobody should have the book right now. Just what is going on?
Can we sew his shadow back on?
Can we glue it?
Magically, I mean, not with actual thread.
It would require some form of shadow witch. I am not bad.
Everybody looks at Element away.
I'm not that good a shadow witch.
So somebody who's Ulgu rather
Someone
than
who
Dar.
could master shadow entities, who can summon them forth, bind them, utilize them. Many shadow witches use steeds, creatures, shades. You'd be looking for one that can access the shadow realm and the spirits that lie within there. This is effectively a spirit
My
that has
master can
possessed
do
the
that.
shadow.
Can you trap it in something?
I have.
But I mean something longer term that isn't exposed to the elements and
Looks up.
And-
Well, we have a sunny day at least. Come darkness, it will be free.
All right.
bind it
Could
to
we
an
have
object.
Just a quick
could we
idea.
hang
Yeah,
a
there's no way to
light?
bind it into something, no.
Lantern light. That will hold it in place.
Yes, if we keep this area lit.
Yes.
Right, interesting. Number one, my lady, welcome to the foot chauffeur. I haven't really had a chance to say hello.
She looks at you.
So welcome, nice to see you.
You are yourself again.
Sort of. I feel a little bit weird. I still.
Cool test.
Yeah, lovely.
Yume was mouthing
Success.
the words
Yeah.
Gerhardt was saying.
As you're saying that, you feel the pull from the book, and you know that is an external pull. It's not you wanting it per se; it's it wanting you.
Interesting. Do I believe that timing thing that you told me with the life and the life force and the amount of time that I've got left?
As much as you believe it.
Okay.
So it could be a lie. You don't know. It could be true. You feel that that's what the
Okay.
book contains.
So the book wants to get to me, which is fine. I prefer that it does than anybody else, if I'm completely honest, because it does some things, and I know this. Also, shadow. If this is your shadow and everything, would it not be wise to light a fire or a light all the way around it? 'Cause-
Yes, I was just saying that with
Yes.
lanterns.
Yes.
Um,
Well, no, not lanterns, because they will give shadow. Because they've got the little doors.
Well,
Like-
light doesn't cast shadow.
Well,
What's
if we do it all the
Elric?
way around.
says Margarita, have you any skill or ability with summoning the elements of fire from the realm of fire?
Is she talking about the...
That would be, for example, you are aware, you wouldn't have called it
in
the realm of fire.
college? Yeah.
Yeah, at all, although she apparently has a different view of how these things work.
Yeah.
But you can summon some minor spirits and
Sprites.
sprites, exactly.
Yeah, he
spites,
has a...
little spites.
Yeah, he has a spell.
Yeah, that allows them to summon the little swirl of spites.
Yeah. So you will... What was the spinning spites thing it's just
Yeah.
called?
It is.
He'll...
Not to cast it.
Bright
I
wizards.
trust you did it. Yeah. Bright wizard, yes! As I'm
Like this?
spinning!
Sorry, Yume.
As I'm spinning up a host of small, long, pointy-nosed little creatures with buzzy little flaming wings with smoke drifting off them spin into
fuckers.
existence.
Can we all see them?
Oh, yeah.
Do they speak? Are they like the other spirits that speak?
They generally speak this.
Well, just like my son, just like my son. Then. They speak baby elf.
As they're spinning around, casting shadows in lots of different directions. The realm of fire is very close to the realm of shadow. One looks over the other. She says, if you can maintain this, I think it would hold it.
Well, the spell lasts for his willpower minutes. Well, it's the original.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So about an hour, I guess.
50 minutes.
And if you, about
And
an
all
hour.
I can do with the realm of shadow is make it so your senses go there, so you feel like you're there.
That might do. I would banish it to there. At least it wouldn't be here.
And then it would be in the right place rather than the wrong place.
It wouldn't attach his shadow, I don't understand how it works. This is not my area of expertise.
Well, I
But
could
you might be
try
able to
that.
banish it.
I need to touch it, which
Careful.
not breaking.
Should I step in as well? No.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Stay
not going
out.
anywhere. You're not going near the book.
Take
You're
your
not
heart.
going
No,
near the
I
shadow.
don't want to go near the book. I
Yeah.
was just asking if I should go near the
Oh,
shadow.
You
right.
have figured out several different ways you could just grab it. Amusing yourself, one of them does just grab, run, giggle. And it does cause a small amusement, a smile
Oh, no, actually,
twitching
I
up at the
think
side of his mouth.
Yeah,
Ah!
no, that's fine. I just had a thought process actually.
Yes.
So, Elric, with all of this, and I know the book and everything is a problem, right? But here's the reason why it could potentially not be a problem. Because if a problem becomes a problem only when we see it as such.
want to
Blather!
encourage you
I'm blathering, son! I'm blathering! I'm doing a full blather!
What's the test
Charm
against?
test! Willpower.
Oh, this is
Oh,
fine.
it's cool,
Yeah.
pardon me.
Cool, even better.
Oh, is it? Are you
Elric's just gonna look at
He's so chill.
Only 2 successes.
Only 2!
What am I doing?
You do your charm test.
Okay, cool. That's annoying.
It's the talent that keeps on
Oh,
giving.
it's a success. I can't even re-roll.
It's a success.
But yeah, he beats you as you're like, bother, just creeping forwards, and he just pulling you way back.
You've never seen such a lack of life in our size. Like, just
You've
deadpan.
seen it so many times, though, right? Just-
I cast my spell.
Luitpold will just lean into Birdie, but it's pathetic, really, isn't it? I mean,
I heard that. As the elf's finger moves in and taps on the shadow, screams.
Oh. Oops.
Oh, bloody hell.
Not a sound you're used to hearing from a shadow, as it's hollow, echoey, and almost thudding with its. And it sort of maelstroms into nothing in the middle. As Margarita steps back, I did not expect that to work. That's one problem gone. Looks over towards you. You've got a shadow.
what?
You've got a shadow.
Can I do bunny ears so that it shows?
The whole thing's got a shadow.
He can't
Yeah.
see it.
We all
Nobody else
can.
can.
Hey, it's working.
I did it.
It's come back.
Yeah.
You did it. We did it.
Thank you. Anyway, my lady, thank you.
It was the lady's idea.
I can't believe that worked. I would like that book removed from this particular area, just in case it's a lie.
I'll take it.
Elric,
Elric should carry you, man.
Can we lock it in the?
I mean, it's not the
secret
best way to
Yes.
carry her.
He's pretty big. He's just like really small.
Yeah,
He's
she
not
is
very
tiny.
big, but he just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I suppose at least she's not reading it.
Well, she's
touching
trying
it, but she's
to.
not reading it.
She's trying to sneak a peek
Does
as he's
his
carrying her.
does his shadow stay?
His shadow stays.
See, I told you it does things!
It was that
It
your
wasn't the
short-term
book.
ambition? Get your shadow away.
It wasn't. It bloody should have been. I assumed it was impossible.
You can almost feel the secrets that it holds tickling at. Huh! Elric, you've just realised You should have realised this before. You should have. Cool test.
Alamenoi is so excited. She's just fulfilled one of her, path things. Find lost things.
Correct job.
Nice. Her lost shadow.
One success.
No! You can feel it trying to trick you. You can feel it wanting to make you know down. Why do none of these doors have locks? Someone needs to put locks on this bloody barge. The best you can do is what? Push her into her room?
But then she's in with the book.
Yeah, she is.
Sit
down with her.
Tie her up.
Yeah,
I think he just hold. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should tie her up, like wrap around so the book's
I was
touching her,
going
but
to
she can't
bamboozle
open it.
him, but I can't even do that because I
You're
need my
probably the
other
best
book
person
to
to
be able to
I have no
bamboozle.
interest in the book, and I have apparently my shadow back.
You're following them. He's sitting down.
Yeah.
And if
in
Go has
her
gone, go
room,
quickly.
holding on to her and the book.
I'll help. I'll push open the door for you. No worries. After you. After you.
Shall I
He's still controlling the
intervene?
spinning spikes,
Yeah.
so he has got them as a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're quite hot,
Oh,
aren't they?
ouch. Ow, hold on. That's a bit nippy. One of them, as it flies by, goes.
Birdie's just asked if she.
Awful little things.
Birdie's asked if she should intervene.
One of them looks at the
I'm
wooden
going.
side of the
No,
barge.
no.
It starts flapping by,
No.
charring the edges of it.
So
No, but
I was
yeah,
reading the
just a
spell.
rat, you mean,
He
in a
can
book.
control.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
With a
They have
simple
to
channeling test.
attach. No, they have to attach to another source
I
of
never get to
fire
tie anyone
for them
up
to
in
spread,
rubbish.
so they won't set the boat.
Yeah,
on.
they just sit there.
Yeah.
Birdie's trying to go and intervene, and Luitpold and Elemenowith are having an argument. No, because at the moment, Birdie isn't affected by the book. If she goes down and intervenes, for all we know, she'll grab the book. She's much stronger than you, May.
I don't like reading though, so.
Well, it would
Oi,
probably...
here! Get back on your bloody place!
I don't know if you've noticed, but everybody's gone a little bit mental.
No, they haven't. This is what it's always like in this bloody barge.
Yeah,
Seriously,
you used the wrong
this ain't
verb.
no different than any other day, is it?
Everyone is a little mental.
Yeah, yesterday, you bit Skip.
We're going to have to stop soon now because we're coming up to the Reik marshes and there ain't no way we're getting through there without an offer.
Okay.
So we need a guide, which means we're going to need some,
Cash.
yeah, they're going to cost. It'll probably cost us at least, I don't know, about 10 silver, 12 silver, something like that. Depends how much in demand they are. Oh, I can't imagine they're very much in demand. They're all going to be on this side because no one's going down. No one's going down through it, so they'll all be coming in from the other side. So I imagine we're going to be at a buyer's market, not a seller.
Well,
I can cover it if we need to.
yes, because the
Gross.
cash balance
Fights
of
in
the
the way.
barge,
It's fine.
it's
I'm just
only...
gonna go for a chat.
Oh,
Right.
no, it's two gold
listen,
and one.
Elric,
The barge can cover
My
it.
lord, with the greatest of respect,
Should I at least keep Gerhardt away?
just don't.
no, look, I understand, all right? I'm not playing tricks or anything like that. I just need to look. That book sucks life force, right? Like it takes that from people.
Blathering.
Now, I'm not blathering. I'm being legitimate.
Luitpold's just come down. You can see him just coming down the
Yeah.
stairs.
All right.
Why are you
one second.
speaking
One
to
second.
Elric about this instead of me? I'm the one holding a book. You can't even, fucking speak to me when I'm holding your book?
No.
How dare you, girl? Get out of my room, you piece of shit! Out!
It's really awkward.
Yeah. Okay, all right, fine.
Girl
I will step just outside of the door frame. I'm out. The door's still open though, so
Don't
that's
be
fine.
a child.
No, it's fine.
Gerhardt.
Shut up. I'm trying to save someone. I'm trying to do the right thing. Look,
She's not reading the book right now, which means it's not consuming anything.
it doesn't work like that. I know how it works. I've seen how it works. I've seen the inside of it.
While it was eating your brain.
Yes, all right, that's fine. It ate me, I ate it. That's how it works.
So therefore you can't trust the information you have because it might have come from it.
Might not have done. You can't say that. You've no idea.
But that's the point. You can't trust it, my lord.
1 second.
That is the definition of what I just said.
You don't think you can trust it. It's fine. Look,
You're
right
being
now-
illogical, and that's not you, my lord.
illogical.
And that makes me
No.
concerned.
No, I'm fine. Look,
No, you're being illogical, and that's not like you.
I'm trying to help someone. That's
Elric,
not necessarily logical.
Turn us around. We're facing the other way.
Yeah, okay. Right.
That's fine. I'll just talk. I'll talk louder. It's fine. I'll just look.
So awkward.
It'll be taking the life out of her. All right.
Right.
I know how much I've got left with it, and it's more than her
How could you possibly know what
because
she has left?
because I know what it eats.
Oh, harsh.
Oh.
So
It's not harsh.
so
Fuck
so
off,
we
I'm
can
smart.
hear this. Can we hear this?
You can hear this,
You think it's
I think.
but
we-
you're upstairs, so
Yeah.
you want to speak to them? you
No,
want
I'm
to
going to
come
say
down?
to the lady.
Oh, yeah,
I
she's
think-
sitting on the desk.
I think that
yeah,
maybe
that's
we need to get Dr. Flaster to administer sleeping potions to all of them, because none of them can be trusted around the book.
I thought this was smart enough. That's all.
To what end? They will wake up and you'll still suffer the same
I know.
situation. You'll need to resolve it one way or another, and you can't knock out everybody.
Yes. What do you think?
What about
It says they'll squabble, one of them will get it, they will hold it, it will be attached to them, one presumes,
can we
and
not
whatever
stab
method
it?
it's using will continue.
Can we not kill this book thing?
We can.
It might kill the person it's linked to.
Sadly, it lies outside my area of knowledge. I don't know what it does.
Maybe there's a book in the library that knows about it.
Use a book to defeat the
Goes
book.
downstairs.
I mean, if you help me down, I'll help you.
Yes, please.
Can
Greta!
Luitpold hear that?
Hmm?
My lords?
What?
Right, let's reach a compromise.
Right.
You think you know about it.
Yes.
You've also got a massive library. Maybe there's something in the library about this that would prove your hypothesis.
Nice.
All right. Fine. No, that's fair enough.
If you can find evidence in another book, I might trust
All
it.
right. But if I can't, what then?
Well, then we'll revisit the conversation at that point. We'll
Fine.
make no decision.
All right.
Also,
Agreed.
we know it's done damage to Gerhard. He's had it for a while. She's only had it for an hour at
Less
most.
than that, yeah, an hour at most.
Well,
Sometimes it's better the evil you know.
that's my point.
Right. To the research mobile.
Montage.
As the research mobile is accessed down in the hold, and the dark sorceress alongside the soul half-eaten Gerhardt and the elf, possibly with help from a blind man, attempt to find amongst the books
Nothing in this one.
an answer for their current predicament.
We're going to need all hands on deck. Dr. Flaster too.
And Dr. Flaster also.
And Lucas.
And Lucas. I really do.
Shut up, Lucas. Come on, get involved.
Heresy.
They're all covered in Gerhardt with Jungfraud on it.
And in Yume's cabin, Elric holds very tightly onto Yume in a way that's now becoming more and more awkward as time passes by.
I think
Nice.
this is only going to make it creepier, but because Luitpold won't be any help in the library, he's more likely to be lurking somewhere nearby, keeping an eye on Elric and Yume.
Definitely not
It's
creepy.
even creepier.
And
But just make sure you don't get
Blackthilda,
tempted.
with Birdie's support,
It's been so long.
steers the barge down towards the settlement where they intend to hire a huffer, a river guide, to take them through the Riker marshes, the very marshes where the centre of control and authority of one of the most important bloodlines in the Empire holds sway. The Holzwig Abenauers, represented by the Emperor's sister in Castle Reikguard. We'll learn more about that after the break. Down in the hold, there is a lot of research going on, and unexpectedly, a lot of really good research. We did the rolls during the break to see just how well everyone would do so that we didn't need to start off with just lots of rolls for research. And as it turns out, not one person criticaled, not two people criticaled, but 3 did, and one of the ones that didn't critical got 11 successes. It was one of those rolls. In fact, I'm going to pass over to the marvellous Kath to tell us just how well everybody did.
Okay, so one crit was Gerhardt's, and he rolled a 15 in total.
15 successes. Nice.
One crit was Greta's, and she rolled a 16 in total, much to Gerhardt's disgust.
That's fucking bullshit.
Lucas rolled 2 crits and got a total of 11 successes. Dr. Flaster, with a really high research roll, got 11. And then Alan Menowith got 1.
Check me.
And there was another one.
That's Lady Marguerite.
Oh yes, Lady Marguerite also pitched in and got 1.
And got 1. Too busy being excited about all the books that she was finding concerning her own family history. Almost certainly. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well,
So
you're
quite a
all
lot.
looking out for something quite different. So while Elric and Yume are ensconced together, he not letting her get access to the book, her gently trying to persuade him to, just like
I really like what you've done with your room.
How long have you been able to see sprites?
Forever.
This is
Not
the
these
worst
ones, but
first
different
date
ones. Better
ever.
ones.
Oh, okay. They kind of remind me of spirits, but like
How long have they spent researching? Because the sprites will just
yeah,
disappear.
they will eventually just fritter off in different
it's
directions.
been a while.
Yeah.
They're just in darkness in a room.
I'll lit in the braziers.
Oh yeah.
You're
Sorry if
very
it's a bit
warm.
warm.
Gerhardt. So, it turns out that this library has quite a lot about different types of familiar and different types of creature that can be bonded as familiars. Turns out, apparently, all creatures with a spirit can be. And this is fascinating to you because there is a small, what is quite clearly marginalia at the bottom, saying that it's quite possible that you can bind people as familiars. And as a bond, it ties them together almost. They know where each other are at all times. They can feel each other. But one is subordinate to the other.
Lucas?
Which is actually relatively horrifying. However, as you note, as you're working your way through the text, criticals get you quite a lot, as it turns out. It requires complete and real acceptance from both sides to enter into it. They must want to do it. Can't be done through spell, can't be compelled, can't be forced. If there's even the slightest part of them that think there might be unacceptable, the bond just doesn't stick. This apparently was something that fascinated Dagmar. He was writing all manner of side notes about exactly how the bonds of a familiar could be used in a variety of relatively useful ways to control people. Or better, those who are entirely loyal to you, which he had many loyal subjects, who would willingly enter this. Knowing where they are, getting a strong set of agents that would be able to communicate forms of information, because as you work your way down through all of it, apparently it can also pass over emotional responses. So if someone's panicked, someone's happy, someone's satisfied, it can pass across through the bond of the familiar. Animals make thus some of the best familiars, because they don't have the same responses of emotion that humans or indeed any sentient creature does. They've got a different set, and as a human, they're much more manageable. There's an interesting side amount, though, saying that elves do not, under any circumstance, bond an elf. It can actually kill a human because of the emotional distress that can come down through the link. It can be just too much for a human to cope with, because they are not used to the extremes that elves have to deal with. And elves, according to this particular part, are in a constant state of war with themselves to control their emotions, to ensure their emotions do not move out of control. Something that apparently, according to this treatise, that you are leafing your way through with a deep amount of amusement and interest. And then you hit, before you finish off reading that part, the bit you were looking for. So, you reckon your book's not a book. No great surprise there, I think. And you think that it is a bonded spirit. That these rumours of creatures from other places are just rumours. That's almost certainly not what this thing is. This thing looks like it is a shadowy creature, some sort of shadow spirit made manifest inside a book. And the reason you believe that's the case is because no one saw it as anything other than a book. If it had been something that was perceived as the greatest dream of whomever was perceiving it, they would have seen other things. They all saw a book. It's a shadowy spirit trapped in a book. This is someone's ex-familiar. You're quite convinced.
Ex-familiar.
Someone once had this as a familiar.
As in...
The book.
Right, okay.
So that book over there used to be, presumably, some wizard's familiar. You're only aware of one big shadowy grey wizard in the area. And he lives in River Reik. It may have been his.
Engels.
Christoph Engels.
Engels.
This could be one of his old familiars that had somehow got itself free. That being the case, it might have none of your mind. It might be all fabrication and lie to try and feed from you. Because spirits from beyond do feed psychically from others. And it would make sense of the things that had happened. It would have just been shadowy spells. Some equivalent. The whole thing was just an illusion.
So just algae breaking bones sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You've been tricked by it, and all it's doing is feeding from you. At least,
for now.
That's one potential. Greta finds something quite different because she's looking specifically for creatures. And she finds a bestiary. A bestiary of the odd and bizarre that can be found across the oceans of the world. Put together by a halfling explorer. Now, his name is very long. Indeed, too long to easily pronounce, but refers to himself as Bookie. And Bookie, who presumably is now long dead, given that this book is over 100 years old, Bookie has got a particularly long description of a creature that he encountered. It wasn't one, it was an entire field of them, like they'd been deposited there. And that's the story he received from his elves, who were his escort. He didn't like the elves. That's all he says about the elves. I didn't like them. But, according to this, the creatures would often form out of pockets of magic. And they would take the form of those who were close by. This is what Greta was looking for. And what the minds themselves, according to the elves he spoke to, they were fashioned as white magic hit the great swelling of dark magic that was found in those lands. And intellect was passed on. And that mixture of intellect from the other elves around gave it form. And they would come and reap them. Break them up, take them. They were probably, according to this halfling, originally creatures like mice or something else, and they had just been changed by the magic and given intellect by the enormous upswelling of Heish. And that during each great cycle, as the halfling puts it, these little creatures would pop up near the great shadowlands to the north, and they would be awash with shadow, awash with magic. This could be that. If it is, it's not good news. Because according to this, if it latches onto you, you can't get rid of it. It will constantly leech from you forever. Until eventually there's nothing left there. Distance doesn't matter because it attaches, as the halfling puts it, to your soul or something. And distance doesn't matter because apparently it don't. That's that side. However, that's quite different. So many criticals. To what Lucas comes up with. I think you're going to like this one, Master, because it certainly puts your position in a far better light.
Love it. Tell me.
It took a little bit to read this, Done.
Finished.
Done. Fascinating and different to what you already had. If this is true, it's a demon.
Okay.
But why is that possibly better? Because it's bound within the physical confines of a book, and everything that has happened is effectively lies. According to this, if it is bound, it's actually almost powerless, almost incapable. The problem that he marks out with his double critted roll is that if this is a demon and it's trapped, this particular piece of marginalia here, which might actually be her grandfather's writing. If it's a demon and it's affecting the material plane so much, then it's a powerful one. A really powerful one. Because it should be rendered entirely inert. But there's a way of checking it. Because somewhere there will be a particular mark, and it shows a set of runes to look for, to check if it's a demonically possessed artifact. Disturbingly, one of those is the Master Rune of Alaric the Mad.
Just out of curiosity, Lucas, this would surely imply that it would be have some sort of magical influence, yes?
Yeah, it would have been created to do something. Can't determine what it is, obviously.
Okay.
But it would have been an artifact that was created for a specific end, and it is using some form of spirit or demon to power it, and it should not be able to influence, as it says here, should not be able to influence the mortal realms.
Good, yes.
Does this imply that the rune fangs have demons bound into them?
Oh, well, more interestingly,
It might not be the same. It might just be coincidence.
but we do know that touching those, well, we've all touched the rune fang. Well, I think everybody has. Is almost everybody? Well, except, has Eric touched it?
You may.
Yes.
You may hasn't touched
yeah.
it. Eric has. So almost everybody.
Yet.
Hold on tight.
But they've done, it's always affected people whenever they've touched it, which this obviously has, and affected people somewhat negatively at points as well. Interesting. So, book fang.
Hilarious.
Surely rude book would be more appropriate.
Dr. Flaster comes up with a slightly different potential alternative. And that's that it is simply, well, according to this, there's a great deal of research being done into familiars. And I have found one here for a specific type of familiar, where you take a normal book and you bind a spirit into it. And if this is accurate, you'll probably find that it's benign, entirely benign, until it has attached itself to someone with a familiar bond. He says it would require an actual familiar bond, which I don't think you have, because you are incapable of entering into such a binding, a contract, so to speak. So effectively, if this is the case, all it's doing is feeding from you.
Right.
And you could simply, once one has removed oneself from it, you'll be fine. I mean, if one is honest, you actually look all right at the moment, Gerhard, in comparison to what you looked like a few hours ago.
Yes, well, obviously that was a terrible time, and out of curiosity, I don't know Olgu that well. Alaminawai, you obviously have dabbled. Should I? Well, right? You're not.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah,
I do not know why they are laughing.
No,
I'm not here.
not there.
We're
that is true.
we're
Yeah.
deck.
Should I?
I'm
Can you
watching them.
feel things?
Can I feel?
No, not you. Can one feel things when affected by Olgu? Because I felt.
Olgu is the wind of tricks and illusions and
Yes.
tricking the senses. So yes, you absolutely
could
could
make
And
you
feel
also,
things.
strong
Books.
wisdom.
And also wisdom.
Right.
Such as
Wisely using things and taking advantage of fools.
Yes.
Very much taking advantage of fools.
Wisely using things and
yeah.
taking advantage of those who have a more intrepid nature. You know the card, the Fool. who
Sure.
is blithely walking along and stepping
That
off a
card
cliff.
doesn't exist. It's called Ronald.
Ronald. The card Ronald.
Okay, it's not the one I have. That's fine. Yes, no, I am aware. Okay, right, fine, interesting. So it could make you feel as if your bones were breaking.
And it could make it look as if your bones are breaking, if it is a spirit of Ulgu.
Olga is horrible. I mean, so is all the other ones. to be
In the
fair.
corner, Margarita will say, of all the winds, Ulgu is the most terrifying. By far the most terrifying and the most feared. That is why the magisters and the colleges choose their apprentices very carefully. Because in the wrong hands, you can do almost anything. You can make anyone think anything. It was something my grandfather was particularly interested in, but never had much skill in it. Which is probably for the best given where he is now. And it may indeed be one of the reasons that he fell, for all I know. His desire for it was strong. I found something.
All right, what do you got?
She smiles. So much less than everybody else. She says, but I have uncovered that my grandfather had one.
Oh.
A book that he used to hold his spells within, so that he didn't need to recite them himself. The book would hold the spell and recite them on his behalf, and it recited them by casting an illusion. It was something that he took from the Grey College.
Well, interesting.
So the illusion would spin to say the words in his behalf, and thus they would be said, allowing him to instantaneously cast spells, but it cost him. The spirit within required to be fed.
And your forgive me, it's been a rough couple of weeks. Your grandfather, his abilities were Ulgu based as well, or were they?
No, as I said, my grandfather had great interest in Ulgu, but never had any real skill or ability in it. His researches were obviously with fleeting attempts at dark magic, which mostly failed, and quite significant researches into the amethyst wind. That is the wind of death, the same wind that I've studied.
Right.
It is a simple spell that it would need to be bound to cast. It is a petty spell. I could do it to you right now. I could make you hear my voice in your ear, but I would not have to say the words. They could have bound that spell into the book to get the book to say the other spells.
Be interesting. It might even benefit. I hate to say this, but it might benefit Elric. Mind you, that information is sparse.
Well, also, it's not necessarily this book. He just had a book.
It does suggest to me that my grandfather might still have this, or at least something of this ilk. He had an extensive library, I knew, but he did not want me to have it, and now I find that it is mostly here. This might be his library. Might.
You may have a plan.
What's Yumi's plan?
You may, well,
Uh-oh.
first of all, Elric, you can hold me with one arm, right?
I could if I chose to.
Well, in my back pocket is my prayer book. Would you mind getting it for me, please?
Yes, I would mind.
I won't use it on you, I promise. I'll tell you my plan, and then you can decide. So, there's a prayer in my book that confuses people, yes?
I'm not
It
liking
sounds
this.
bad,
Yeah.
but they're not going to use it on you. I'm going to use it on the book. Because I can, like, remember sometimes I make people, like, do a little dance. Or, like...
This is going to be really cruel. Does Elric know that she's lost her?
No.
Because you said to her, like... Didn't...
Yeah, Luitpold said that she didn't.
Shadow
like,
Luitpold.
Yeah.
I can't trust that guy.
Yeah.
But I also
And he might not put two and two together in terms of that. Yume, No.
It could tell us so much information.
No, it tells you what you want to hear. It's trying to get to me, and I am not letting it.
But clearly it worked. Like, it has to have grains of truth to be able to lure it.
No, it has to just
Pray
know
it.
what you want by taking it from you.
But then how do you explain Luitpold's shadow? Luitpold, you back me up. Your shadow's back.
Yeah, because it's attracted to shadows and lies. And that's what that book is. Shadows and lies. You can't trust shadows and lies.
What was my one
Luitpold doesn't know that. Heresy.
As those discussions are ongoing and apparently not going anywhere, shadows and lies. And as the researching's going on, the barge is currently stopped at port. You're not sure exactly which one, as Matilda is out on the harbour looking for some huffers. And as we said, the huffers are mostly on this side, having gone from the downriver up to upriver and not had as many barges going back again to take them back to the other side. Meaning that there is currently many huffers available to her. Really. Can I please have?
It's a funny word.
For Matilda,
Nitrous, just
a charm test.
As long as you know what a charm is. Yes.
Yes, I do. Give me the number.
Can I use one of my fortune
Yes,
points
you
to
can.
reroll?
She's your hedge
Pinch
person.
One success.
Sweet. What'd you roll? Actual
17.
Do we have 13 shillings?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's how much it's going
The
to cost
boat
you to
has
get through the
13
Riker
shillings.
marshes,
13
and it's going to take at least 2 days, if not 3.
Is this a little town or is it just
It's
landing
a
point?
whole town,
Right. Is there a temple of Shelley?
Do they want grain?
and you have no idea. You'd have to ask.
I will ask.
If you want to go and ask, go for it.
I will.
Give yourself a
I'm
success,
asking.
please.
Greta wants to know if they want grain. Our merchant to board.
Yeah, no.
No, they find me very intimidating, apparently. So
Well,
it's
you know,
four
not
fails.
surprised there.
Did you say 12 shillings or
13.
13.
Yep, so all paid for.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the port of Bavendorn. Bavendorn or Bamborn? Bamborn. That is largely small. It's a few jetties and huffers who get employed at the local inns, and like a smattering, like 20, 30 other buildings. The only temple, upon looking, is the Temple of Sigmar.
Oh, it's not used to me.
Indeed, it is not. Right. Okay. That down below. Who else got a success?
Are we still seeing, or is Elric still seeing if he's on top of deck regular pyres?
You're currently down in the room.
We're
so you can't see
still
anything.
downstairs in the holding bar.
Yeah, totally.
They have seen them,
They're down in the holes.
but like
No,
Birdie's
the-
not.
I mean, did
The
Luitpold
birdie's the
hear
only one
the
who's not.
did Luitpold hear the screams of burning witches?
Birdie, you do see an eagle fly by with 6 legs.
It's a bird. Gee, they don't happen in tunnels.
As it passes by, calls out in a squeal. It sounds more like a baby crying as it verges off.
Must have
towards the
Elric
trees.
about that.
And
Weird.
yes, there are more burning pyres as you make your way down down the river.
It's a perfect metaphor, the corrupted empire.
You're one success. Down there
No
in the
paper cup.
holes.
It's a book.
Book useless. Here's a book
bad.
useless. Look through that one. Oh, look through this one. Nope, nothing. You don't have much of a research skill, so you're not exactly that much use. Taking things that Greta's passing you until eventually you think you found something. You're very excited. You're very excited because it's in Elthery.
Oh, yes.
Something you can read.
That no one else can read.
Yeah,
Well,
quite.
The doctor might be able to. Whatever. Forget that.
And it claims, and it has some notes underneath it which are terrible mistranslations of it, concerning how best to control familiars. And according to the notes, this is proof that familiars can be easily controlled and bullied into service, where the actual notes themselves say the exact opposite. That permission, for example, is 100% required from both participants for it to happen, which means that if you use a spirit to bind into something, you need to have the spirit's consent, which means you generally make a deal with the spirit to bind it into place. If you don't, the spirit will just go, no. But the thing with spirits is, unlike animals and similar, spirits, when they give consent, do so wholeheartedly. They don't have a half and half. They don't have, I don't know if that's really good for me. Basically, if you make a deal, they're all in. They are all whatever they happen to be doing, apparently. This is fascinating. But the bit of this that jumps out is that if it's currently unbound to no one, it will be tricksy, shadowy, constantly looking for fools, constantly looking to take advantage of them and effectively put them in as weak a position as possible to make them look as foolish as possible. That pretty much will be its raison d'etre.
And presumably that would gather so much Ulgu. It would need Ulgu to do that, and that's maybe why the shadow was attracted.
It will be nomming down on all the shadow and Ulgu that he is manifesting and is a centre of politics for the Empire. It's
No, but I
gathering around
meant
him.
why it might have attracted Luitpold's shadow.
Yes. That could be it.
Just like a lodestone.
Okay, any more successes on that?
No.
Have we got everyone done now?
I think we did everyone, yeah.
Excellent.
Why am I stuck with the two people with the biggest sticks up their asses about this? Just one little prayer. It might not work. It's better than being
It's not a
stuck
problem about
here.
your prayers, it's about the fact that you're already influenced by this book.
Do you want me a gagger?
I don't have anything to say.
This is getting creepier.
Father, on the other hand, who knows what happened when he was tied up, but I'm fine.
The posse arrives. The research posse.
All right, so we know
You
what
have
we're
all
doing.
been fed and watered by your halfling chef through the course of this. Who all come in and say, don't worry, here's some food for you. I see they've not gagged you. That's a shame. Here you go. No, it's not that I don't like hearing your voice. It's just, that would be better. Here you go, Father. Then down in the old, there you go, creepy lady. There you go. There you go, Elf. Yeah. Is that everyone? Excellent. I'll be off then. Oh, look at all these books. Do you think any of them are cookbooks? Well, I'll have a little look through.
No.
Well,
No, it's okay,
No,
Dumpling.
She
Thank
all
can
you.
right.
cover the whole secret.
All right, bye-bye.
Trust her.
Yeah.
She might also crit her research roll.
Yeah, no. She hasn't got research. Well, I'll be seeing you later, but if you find any recipe books, make sure you get. I wouldn't mind a recipe book for
All right, thank you, Dumpling.
Better not say that.
Human meat.
So, the posse arrives.
Book squad.
The book
All right.
squad, book squad.
So,
The research team arrives. What they're going to say?
nothing's changed. Still need to do it.
Do what?
Make a deal with the book.
What do you so what do we all think it is? Out of all those options.
Well, collectively, I think they all sort of have the same outcome, right? Spirit / familiar / demon living in a book.
No, because if it's the one that Bookie found in the field of creatures, then there's no deal. It's latched onto you until it sucks you dry.
Okay, so then we're screwed anyway, right? So that's done. So that's down, done, right?
So we might as well destroy it then.
No,
No, it
No.
doesn't work like that.
If that was,
no, because we don't know that destroying it wouldn't kill the host. If
No,
it was a symbiotic
but
creature.
if the host is going to die anyway, at least we'll stop it latching on anyone else.
Oh, right, yeah, do it
I
afterwards.
think we
Well, no,
could
because
almost be
what if
too
he
late on that.
lasted 15 years?
Do it after. If I...
In the meantime, that we'll all be dead because everyone else is trying to get hold of the book.
But what you're advocating is something that might kill Gerhard.
Or I'm advocating that maybe that's not the truth and maybe we should hear the next one.
But all the rest of them are versions of the same thing. It's a spirit or a demon
That you make a deal with.
bound in a book.
Spirits and demons are the same thing.
Spirits and demons,
I mean,
same thing.
They are, but they aren't.
We do have someone who can, if it is a demon, can perhaps deal with a demon. So he gestures towards the good lady Wittgenstein.
Someone who also couldn't
She
even
doesn't-
see what it was.
No, but now that she maybe perhaps knows it might be a demon bound in something.
deal with you.
She doesn't do demons.
This is literally the whole thing that she tricked you on.
That's not...
She said she was the only one capable
No,
of fighting.
Julius said that.
Julius said that.
I can destroy them.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's what we mean. If there's
Yeah.
a demon in it, can you destroy the demon?
No, it's currently, if it's bound into something, it's not currently, strictly speaking, a demon. It's on the other side. So
Can you unbind it and then destroy it?
that's not my
Given-
expertise.
Given the amount of Ulgu involved and the fact that it's trying to trick you all and make you look foolish, but it also has a flip side that the trick it's playing on you is the hint of wisdom. I think the most likely thing is that it's a familiar that was a wizard's familiar and is now free. Perhaps its wizard died, and it's unbound and it's looking for a new mistress or master.
I also
or
think that might be right, just
mix.
based on where I picked it up. Because I found it in Uber's right.
So if hypothetically a wizard were to bind it as a familiar,
Yes.
would that resolve the problem?
Well, you don't have to be a wizard to bind something as a familiar. You just have to be able to make a deal wholeheartedly between the two of you. Yep, that's what it says.
What, the Eltharine? That's not what it says.
No, not that bit.
Well, usually, you have to understand, usually a mundane person wouldn't be able to make a deal with a book because they wouldn't be able to communicate with it.
I've communicated with it.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Please.
Yeah, baby. Ah, magic boy. Yeah, 4 successes.
Yep.
What? What do you mean? Yes.
You're right. And you should probably be in the colleges. You've come to the conclusion you should probably, if you've communicated with that book at all, that means you're probably a latent wizard. And you're under the age of 25.
Andy, you've got to stop doing this shit to me. I
That
can't do
doesn't, that doesn't mean you will ever be one if it's latent. You know enough about wizards that they exist, that up to the age of 25, and it will take you out the line of succession. If that were the case, but it would have to manifest. It would have to actually happen. But the very fact that you've somehow communicated with it at all suggests that there is the spark of magic within you.
I would.
Not something you might necessarily want to admit to anyone
Okay,
publicly.
fine.
But he already
the
has.
penny
and
has
we've
just
already,
dropped for
so,
these
and
two
she's
right
right,
exactly.
Elroy. I think, from what I know of the colleges, that if you just put that book down and never do anything like that again, you'll probably be fine. But if you do continue to communicate with the book and bond it as a familiar, then he, she, and I would technically be legally bound to take you to the colleges, because then you would have displayed a magical capability.
The Grace says, if I had my actual writ, I wouldn't be bound, but currently, yes, as an amethyst wizard, I would be.
Yeah, all right, but you're talking about legally, and then let's
Yes.
be fair, everything else.
Yes, so we might not take you, but if a wizard were to encounter you in the street and you had bound a book as a familiar,
How would they know?
because they're wizards.
No, they won't. None of you sensed it.
Because it's not bound yet.
No, it's because it's made of shadow. You haven't sensed it
Yes.
because of the algo that's
So
directly laced through it.
Can I ask you a
So
question? on
nobody's,
that?
but nobody has sensed it. So,
I don't
so
think
how
anyone would
anybody
under
else?
normal circumstances,
Menowith
unless
doesn't
they were
have the
shadow
sight.
wizards.
Oh, so if they were grey wizards, they
Shadow
would
wizards, grey wizards.
pick up on it.
See how when there's like a fire, you can like suck it away.
Mm-hmm.
Phrasing. Can you do that with algae?
Mhm.
Would that make it easier for us to see what it is?
Yes. If you could pull enough of it out, but how good are you at it?
I'm not very good.
You would need to channel a great flow.
From an elf.
Is it worth a try, or is it dangerous? Because I don't know enough about this to.
The
Anything
problem
with
that I see
How
is
strong is your ability to manipulate the grey wind?
it is the only wind I can manipulate, and I have learned some children's spells.
That does not fill one with hope.
No. Look, listen. I know what I'm suggesting potentially is not standard and poses risk, but we're all saying this continually. We are coming towards the end times. We must better be armed. We must do things that are.
Yes.
We must do things that are alternative.
But you have to understand that if you try the thing that is alternative, sooner or later, a wizard who's better than me, and we've already met one, will see that you have bound a familiar and will try to take you to the colleges. So
Greta says, let's be quite clear. If you can do this, then even if you weren't, you now will be a witch. Because it would open up paths within you that cannot be closed. Your etheric flows would open. And that is just simply what would be the case, which means you would need to be trained, or you would hurt those around you.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a different statement, which
and-
changes things.
and you would also be removed from the line of succession.
That's assuming you even could.
I already am. Well, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Well, yeah, my brother.
But what? And right now, the amount of Ulgu around you is so much because everyone's looking for you. You are the center of a plot within a plot within a plot. This book is feeding on, I'm here, I cloak us in Ulgu anyway. So right now, it might only feel like you could bind it because there's so much Ulgu opening all of you up to this book.
Marguerite nods, and it's why it's attracted to them in particular.
You in
Because
hiding.
She is a trickster. His shadow was broken, and you are at the heart of imperial politics, all of which drags enormous quantities of Ulgu in each of your direction.
Could I roll a lore Nippon about binding spirit sort of stuff?
It's not Nippon, no. It would be magic.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Nippon would.
I mean, I could have heard about it, I guess,
Yeah.
but not how.
What about
Yeah,
Alric in terms of his education growing up? Would that have ever come
yeah,
up?
you got lore magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, lore magic will. Lore Nippon will give you a different sort. Let's do the test because you might get. Did you get a crit?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Nope.
14 successes.
Wow.
Bloody hell! Ah.
No, nothing.
Nothing. You were not paying attention in spirit class.
Apparently not.
Whereas you were. This comes from the Bright College. The Bright College are known particularly for binding battle familiars. They particularly focus upon them and have entire sets of classes for binding together a familiar. The hardest are the biggest ones. Binding a horse and putting a spirit in it to turn it into a familiar. You can take an animal and push its spirit within it. The spirit must be willing. The animal does not need to be willing. It has a very weak spirit in general. The soul would be supplanted with another spirit within it. And if you put a fire spirit in your horsey, you've got yourself, hey, a big horsey familiar. They're super hard to do though. Generally familiars are small. The smaller, the material aspect of it, the better. You have learned that you can inhabit machines. The Gold College does this and puts spirits in machines and makes the machines work as familiars. People will actually create their own familiars from bits of flesh. Generally animals, okay, where they might take a book.
Leather-bound book.
Okay, leather-bound book, exactly. Take a leather-bound book, okay, fashion legs with on it so that the book will follow them around. Not unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will use small mechanical creatures, and they like to try and make sure that they don't look too horrific. So they're often given the aspect of a jester, a big moon face, for example. So it'll wander around. And often they carry things for wizards, and some of them look like grimoires or whatever else. All of this you have seen. And the actual binding process is hard. It is not easy magic. It's difficult magic to do because you have to take something which may be unwilling, an animal for example, force a spirit into it, which generally means you need to get a spirit from somewhere to put into it, which means you need to know how to summon various types of spirits. Bright wizards deal largely with the element of fire and various fire elementals type creatures. Shadow wizards deal with a whole host of shadowy awfulness. This apparently is some sort of shadowy creature. You couldn't bind it. It would be beyond you. If he could bind it, he's pretty much doomed himself to becoming a shadow wizard.
But everything that Elric knows is that it's a one-way relationship in terms of the master and the familiar.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the familiar doesn't have motivations and anything else, but it is always the one that's subsumed.
But the idea of
there would
the
be a
book
concern though.
taking-
You critical.
Yeah.
The book might end up being the master.
Yeah. And does he know you got it in River Reik?
Yeah, I've told you that.
Yeah. So would he think it's a cast off from I don't Engels doesn't seem the kind of man to carelessly leave stuff around and to be sold for,
But if it was I mean he definitely didn't pull tricks on anyone.
Yeah. We're just digging right in that part.
Even these kind.
Yeah.
But given the nature of the spirit involved, it may have slipped free. Particularly if he has lots of things and his attention taken elsewhere or whatever, it may have slipped free and gone off.
Distracted by a charismatic bright wizard.
Well, whether or not Gerhard can bind it, it's not a question of if. It should definitely not be something. It's already taken from you without any agreement in place right now. This is too powerful for you to be
reasoning
with.
All I don't want to do is destroy it because
Why don't you just write to Engels and
Will-
tell him we think we found a missing?
Would you willingly
Grimoire.
give it up?
well, we tried to do that this morning.
No, we tried to take it from you, and you didn't want to give it to us. But would you relinquish it?
Cool test.
Yeah. Shit.
Do I need to do a cool test as well if I'm considering it?
Did he fumble?
He definitely did.
Final fortune point.
How'd you do?
I passed.
You passed, yeah, you can choose your own choice.
Critical!
Crit!
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's a good use of a fortune.
Another.
No.
Oh, it's not a crit, but
But
it's still
7.
7. So yeah.
Oh yeah, piss.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. If I get
doesn't,
crit,
no,
then
no, unless it rolls on your skill.
Four.
But still, that's a
8
mighty
successes and a crit.
successes
8
and a crit.
successes.
Okay, so
Not a crit,
I will
Susie.
give you on that. No, yes, you can willingly give it up. Not only that, because of the critical, I will give you a critical benefit. Your critical benefit is you don't need to roll for that again.
Oh, so I can now deal with it. So when you say wait, when you say again, do you mean this session or forever?
I definitely mean something.
You're so inscrutable.
You can't be scrutined.
There's no scrutiny me.
We're scrutin like crazy, but to no avail.
Yeah.
I
There's no scrutiny.
Do you know what? I think I can actually. Yes. And strangely, after all this, I think maybe the highlighting and the sort of different angles. Yeah, I don't think it necessarily has the same kind of hold on me.
Then we just need to get it from Yume, and then maybe store it in your hole.
I think I might be able to.
I don't know what we're called. I didn't even know
the
it was on
the cubby. The cubby. Should we call it the cubby?
Cubby.
Cubby.
Smuggler's
The secret
hole.
compartment.
Yeah, the cubby.
Is that not potentially a concerning place to keep it?
Why?
Under your bed where it can
Under your
influence
bed
you.
where you're sleeping and dreaming, where there's a baby?
I'm more worried about the baby.
Yeah.
It could latch on and the baby
Uh,
wouldn't understand.
What about if we just put it in the
Bilges. Is
What's
it
the
bilges in a
second-
barge?
What's the other ship that we've got? The little one.
Oh,
the
the-
foot tapper?
The tapper.
Yeah,
The-
we lost the
The
nudger,
nudger.
didn't we?
The tapper.
Yeah.
What if we just put in the tapper?
Because if your supposition is right, then maybe it slipped away. If we put it somewhere like that, it might slip away
I
again.
think we should just put it in a locked box.
All right, fine.
And
Do we have any of those lead line ones from Bergen?
No, but we could just go to a temple of what was that
Verena.
one? That was Verena, was it?
we just,
Well, it
we
wasn't
just
Verena,
pop-
but it was Verena.
Yeah.
It has been green.
Yeah, Bertie, we're about to go.
More snacks.
No, we're about to go. Offa wants to go now.
All right.
Need you up above.
I was already up. I wasn't with
Well,
these
you're talking
guys.
to them, so you
I
obviously
had
were.
my head through the
No, there's no hatch.
Oh,
that,
fair
but yeah, it's
Anyway,
We'd be
I'll
able
head
to
back
take
up.
it from Yume and
I think I
this
yes, I think I can.
Huffer.
I think I can deal with it.
Huffer is a man with one eye, hair hanging on this side, and it looks like he's received a blast of fire at some point in his life over here. Half his hair is melted on that side. His head, pardon me, is melted. As he looks over in your direction and says, "Is this the other one then, eh? Is that your other crew, eh? Yeah, alright. You just follow my directions as we make our way into marshes, yeah? River's really low just now. You know, we got summer, so river's down, which means if you get wrong, we're going to be sitting on some bank somewhere. And don't pay attention to none of the spikes what are in the flows or whatnot. You go where I say. Don't you dare start following all them. The wreckers, put them out to try and make people go the wrong way, what don't have huffers or whatnot. And you're going to run aground and they'll be all over you. So you just do what I say and we'll be fine. If you don't do what I say, then you won't be fine. On your heads be it. So, you know, yeah, that. Got it, master? She says, yeah, we got it. All right. Well, pull away. Folds his arms. Come on, pull away. Right. Buddy, on the barge pole. As they go, big barge, not bad. He sits back, not bad. Sorry, Ralph.
Don't even dare think about wrecking us and stealing it.
Luitpold attempt an augury maneuver, please.
Yes, of course.
about this offer?
Go for it.
Yeah, I passed. So, I interpret some signs. I know if this individual is good/friendly, bad/unfriendly, or neutral, but not why.
He's neutral. And you, your augury says that there is a north wind blowing and a bite in the wind.
North? Oh. Shiver. I think we can trust him.
So what are we doing with this?
All right. Well, I think I can.
Says Margarita. What are we doing with this? Because it's a dangerous book, and currently she's still gripping onto it like a life may possibly depend upon.
I have someone who could maybe give us information, but it will take time. I have to write him.
What are we doing with it now?
I'll take it into my cave.
Come in. Just
And I mean that in a full sense of it, not to read, not to look at it, just to.
do we have a box?
I mean, there must be boxes in the rope store or something.
Well, when we removed all those books from
We
when
have
we
boxes.
moved all those books,
You have no boxes.
that's fine.
Maybe
per
Dumpling
se.
could give up a pot with a lid, and we put it. No, I know that sounds ridiculous, but we put it in it, and then we tie it up in rope or something. I know it's comical, but it keeps it, you know.
Metal.
I'm not here, but I was laughing at the notion of it, not the idea.
Yeah.
I've just envisioned this pot sugarling.
All right. So pot, rope, keep it in my room. Nobody go in there.
First of all, we need to get it out of her hands.
Yeah.
Can you just put it down, Yumi?
I can, but I want an apology from Gerhard. And from you, but mostly from Gerhard.
Why? What have I done?
I was being befuddled by a book, and you were just talking about me without actually speaking to me. This is so rude. I might not be as smart as you, Gerhard, but you can't just talk about me with others as if I don't matter.
Little shopping.
A small, just little like notepad. I apologize for yes, that was wrong.
What are you sorry for?
Luitpold is like mentally sending messages to him.
For not treating you like you were in the room.
I guess it'll have to do for now, and she'll pass the book out.
Thank you.
Cool test. You don't need to do it.
I was about to just fly across this table.
It was breastplate gate all over it.
Excellent. All right, lovely stuff. I'll put this in my room. Nobody go in, and then we'll order the kettle down and all that sort of stuff.
I will let go of you. I'm not apologising though. Didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, he may have just saved your soul, anyway.
True, I guess. Thanks for holding me back, Elric.
And a good chat.
Yes,
Yeah.
surprisingly comfortable, if a tad too warm.
And he was very complimentary about your interior decor.
Looks like the rest of the cabin.
Fights have probably done a little bit of damage.
Little charm mark.
Lovely scorch patterns, right?
One of his faces pressed up against the wood. Little spite.
I love it.
That's definitely getting gift as well.
Yeah, defo.
I love spikes.
The huffer is needed around about 2 hours later, as the marshes spread and spread and spread until eventually the River Reik itself is mostly marsh at this part. The Reiker Marshes, one of the more famous marshes because Castle Reikguard is right on it. It's miles of marsh in all directions and multiple channels. And there are stakes driven into the marsh in a variety of places. There are also the abandoned hulks of ships and barges that went the wrong way. Some of them are old and mouldering. Some of them are relatively recent. There's lots of places where folks could potentially hide. Not just the fact that it's marsh and you could pop underneath the water, but there's that rise and fall in various places where there's a bit of dry land there and a bit of dry land over there, a bunch of rushes over here, a bunch of, next issue, creatures, pretty much everywhere. This place is alive. And our huffer, who's sitting at the front, rubbing at his face, stubble. Oh, no.
Alamanwaith will go up into the raven's nest to keep a watch.
And Alamanwaith spots all manner of movements. This place is full of marsh life, strangely enough. Some of it is relatively large. Through the mud over there, you see the slop of something big. And over on the other side, you see what looks like a fishy type creature come out on almost fin-like arms, look up, look round, and then just bounce down into the water again.
I didn't know fish had arms.
Fins. But it was definitely holding itself up on its fins. Birds of all types, many of which flap off as the barge passes through. You could take almost any of several routes through this area. You can see why you need a huffer. And the huffer takes you through, at one point, a very nice broad area. It's almost 100 paces across. Nice and easy there. And then through some very tight channels, which require quite a bit of navigation. Quite a bit of doing a test.
Sail or navigation?
This is sail. Because you're not trying to get somewhere, you're just following Organ.
I'm going to use my last fortune point for
Good
that
one.
3 successes.
Good stuff. As our barge makes its way through, there is always the chance that things could go awry. And that some of these creatures may be attracted to your crazy ship.
Dice
Barge.
of Doom?
Dice of Doom. Tell me what you rolled.
9.
8.
4.
8.
2.
I've got a fortune point though. I
You
think.
could drop it down to a 7.
And if I put mine up to 9,
I'm going to have a double.
We're going to have a double.
Double on whom?
9s.
But could you
have
do
got
up to
any
10?
fortune points
I
left?
do, I could go to 10.
Yeah.
You go 10?
Yeah.
And did you get 2?
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yes, I
go
did.
to.
Because you have 1,000 fortune points because
I'll go to 1.
you're a Ranaldon.
Maybe.
You're out on the deck, contemplating everything that has occurred so far, having some of the lovely stew. You had listened to the argument between Gerhardt and Dumpling about a pot. You ain't getting none of my pots for putting stinking books in! No, it's my pot, Mother. You're not getting any of my ironware. You get your hands off my ironware. And his responses to that, because in the end, it's just a fucking pot, isn't it?
Yes, Dumpling, look, listen, you're on the ship because...
It's my ironware. You can't just be doing this.
All right.
All right, you want me to leave? I'll just leave it in the next port then.
No.
Yeah, I will. You're not doing it. It's pot or not.
Pot
Pot or not.
pot
What
or-
is it? Pot or not?
Pot or port? It's better. Sounds
No.
better.
Whatever.
Yeah, look,
Smarty pants.
Look, I'm taking the pot, all right?
Well, that's it. I'm going.
Borrowing.
You're not
I
going
think-
to
I am going if you touch my ironware.
Which one?
Any.
Dumpling.
She says very loudly.
Can I attempt to
Could
all
you
this
not just...
all
I've got this under control.
all this lordship is trying to do is borrow it.
No borrowing pots. I'll just use your book to rub my arse on. You know, fuck Sigma. I'm gonna rub my fucking arse on it.
Alameda White
That's
will
what I'm gonna do.
shout out.
It's just the same. I don't want your stinking book in me ironware.
Alamanwaith will shout out, I think you're going to have to leave the pot. I see the issue.
She's like
Book!
Ladriel.
What about your breastplate? You could
I
do
can
the
bend
straps.
it round it.
No, just do the straps.
Touch my breastplate and I will end you.
Right, well,
It's not that. See, you understand.
okay,
Her
all right.
face is
Look,
red.
Dumpling, calm down. Okay?
Do you
I've got a barrel.
Fine.
have an alternative?
I'll get you a barrel.
What about... is there anything missing or anything
Comes
you,
out
you
little
would...
barrel. Got a barrel for you.
Perfect.
No, that's fine. That's great. That's
Lovely.
great.
Well,
Thank
here you go.
Is there anything that you would actually like
Drop
in your
downstairs.
kitchen that you don't have?
Yeah.
All right.
Herbs, spices. Meat, a proper meat. We ain't got no beef just now. That's just wrong, innit? No beef.
But I mean,
Roasted.
Rabbit.
utensils.
Rabbit.
Utensils.
No, I took my utensils with me.
No, just anything that's missing. Anything you
I
want
don't
more.
need anything else. That's my
Nope.
grandmother's. I won't be needing. Am I not cooking proper for you?
Whoa, no.
Has something gone wrong?
No. I've clearly not.
Luitpold will come back up again with the barrel because he's not touching the book.
Yeah, you take the just put the barrel in my. Just put it in my room.
What,
oh, you can't see going downstairs.
Well, I was actually coming to see whether Dumpling might be able to serve us some of that lovely wine we had in Kemperbad before we went out when we were
Filling wine.
Preing? Is that what you called
Yeah,
it?
it's pre-drinks. Yes,
Yeah.
pre-drinks.
Do you have any of that preing wine from before?
We were pre-drinking. It was top lads.
It was lovely.
Yeah, but we only got 2 bottles left.
No, that's fine. You'll make it work. You stretch it out so everybody can have some.
Closes.
2 bottles, right?
All right. Closes the door.
Maybe don't
Click, click.
don't stretch it
How
out.
come she's got a lock in her freaking door?
She's fine.
She's absolutely going to piss in that wine.
If it tastes good.
You've changed your tune.
Barrel.
We've broken Gerhardt finally.
Yeah. We got trouble up here, says Uffer.
Do we?
You
Takes out spyglass.
can see the sail. It's another ship sword.
Oh, another ship sword.
Says, they'll be looking for inspection.
Get in the hole.
Get out of the middle of my hole,
Out
girl.
of the middle of my call,
And
go.
take Greta with you.
No, I'm going in the cubby. Because that's what it's called. It's the cubby. Alright?
I'm coming down too. People usually don't like elves.
Greta says,
Right.
Who'll hold the baby?
I'll be in the room with the baby. I'm not going in the hole.
okay.
I'll just be in the room with the baby.
The cubby.
With her ladyship.
With her ladyship.
Could we also... how big is it in there?
She's not going in the cubby.
I'm not
She's going in the
coming
room
in.
above the cubby.
I'm going to be
I've not
sitting...
been... I last time you put me in there, I was unconscious.
Well,
so-
there was plenty of room for you and Greta.
You and Greta will fit.
Yeah. And we can make you unconscious again if we want.
No,
Dr.
it's
Faster?
fine. Do you know what? The Flaster, if that is the case, I'm going to be in there for a while. Good book to recommend for study.
yes.
Can't have light.
Oh, you can't have light in there. They might see.
Some kind of like
Rouse
mental
the-
exercise.
Grouse the almanac of anatomy.
Right, fine. Thank you. I'll have that one. Just do what I can do through the slats in the floor.
And as he works his way through Grouse anatomy, and you are up above,
Oh,
making your
Andy.
way toward,
For shame. For shame.
as you're making your way towards the ship sword, you see another one coming around a bend up ahead, and that's no ship sword. That's a wolf ship. One of the larger battleships.
It's a
of
trap.
the Imperial fleet.
That's no moon.
As the ship sword, the ship sword
Seashell ship swords
captain
by the seashore.
calls out.
Sean Connery.
Yes.
Meg, through the 3rd South Channel. It says, right through. No, we're just budging to Old Duff. Says, we were, says the Huffer. No. Are you the master? Oh, no, nothing. Taking them through. Says, we ain't going, we're not going to the castle. You're wrong. You are.
Yay.
What?
That explains that.
Looks back. Master? She looks out. Shit. Then calls out. Alright. Do we have to? Yes. And then just shrugs. Yep. 5 more down. You'll see it. I know, I'll see it. Alright. Castle Reikguard.
That doesn't sound good.
We're going to Castle Reikguard. We're going to Castle Reikguard. Why are we going to Castle Reikguard? What do they want us for? I mean, what are they now?
I mean, if they know things, it's obvious what they want us for. But the question is, which of the many things is it that they know?
Birdie looks perplexed. Why is this bad?
No one goes to Castle Reikguard. It's a little bit like saying, here, come to the Imperial Palace for a jaunt. That's basically what that's like. Except it's not the Emperor, it's his sister. I think.
Is Marguerite on deck? Or is she?
No, we're
she's
down
down
in the
below.
ladies'
And the
chamber.
last time we went to a castle, it didn't end well.
We could blow this one up. Be all right.
Yeah, you're going to be hard pressed. This one makes Wittgenstein look like a little baby's nest. This is a proper castle. Apparently, to be a proper castle, you need to have griffins. Because you see 4 or 5 of them flying by with riders. Oh, no, 6 of them. One far higher above, flapping them through. About 10 minutes after that, a small flight of Pegasi moving through, pennants streaming behind them. Shit, says Bahilda. I ain't never seen so. Fuck. You know, all your talk of war feels a lot more real when you start seeing things, doesn't it?
How long could you stay in the hall for?
Are we like, has someone come down to?
Yeah, I mean, we'll come down and give you the skinny. I mean, I get again. I'll let you out while we work out.
What? What's going on?
Well,
But apparently, we're going to Castle
we're
Reikguard.
being told to go to Castle Reikguard. Maybe they need
Greta
grain.
will say, I can't go to Castle Reikguard. Well, my family has very much positioned itself on the opposite side of that. Although, perhaps we're not quite there yet. But
Well, same boat, barge.
yeah, yes, I understand.
Well, I don't think Blatilda could say no.
Yeah, they had like a wolf ship.
Shit.
Maybe they
She
just
says
want.
there's a wolf ship up
Maybe
there.
they just.
There's likely wizards.
Maybe they just want your book.
Well, at least we've done the right thing and like locked it up inside a barrel.
Yes.
Well, I mean that's better than
That's
Well,
where it is.
Being under its throne.
I've never been to. Has anyone here been to Castle Reikguard? Has anyone been to Castle Reikguard? You have?
Nice.
Of course.
Remember a very long time ago, I was given the opportunity to claim that somebody had been the target of the Skaven.
Mhm.
It was the lady of the castle.
Would you be recognised?
Very unlikely.
Right then, I suppose we'll just hide and hope for the best. Unless you want to go and parade? Up on deck?
No.
Then promenading?
No.
It's darkness
But,
for us
but
then.
what if we're here for days?
Well, then they
Sneak
can
me food.
Yeah, we can sneak food and
Right.
and if we get there and they know that they're there, then we just go. It's a fair cop.
disgusting as this is to say, we need a bucket.
Do we
Yeah.
also not have
I'll
the
give you 2.
advantage of having a noble on the ship who doesn't have a writ though?
But she doesn't need her
She
writ
can't
to
be
be a
held.
noble.
She
She
can't
can
be
still.
held,
She's
right?
still.
You've got no.
And there's the barge hands.
you've
They
also
can
got-
keep you fed.
You've got an ambassador on board, technically.
But that's such a
The,
weird position.
Lady Wittgenstein, her overlords are the Mackensteins, who are on very good terms
Shouts are coming
with
from
the
above.
Emperor.
Here, Birdie, I think I need ya.
Come in.
Pop, pop. You can see why they're needing to steer and steer and steer. The barge girls have also been woken up. Some of these tight channels are tight to navigate.
For all we know, they just need a barge for like it could be completely genuine. Innocent.
there.
Yeah.
Could I ask a schemer question about
Schemer!
my family slash the Nipponese
Yes.
family's relationship or
Yes.
like
So you're-
past?
So, you have an existing relationship with the imperial family. Your family has an existing relationship. Your family was effectively there to speak on behalf of the emperor. Back
No,
in the
no.
day.
I mean, like with the castle we're going to.
Yeah.
They're related to the emperor.
Well, we're getting there.
Okay, cool.
To the imperial family. This is the
That
emperor's
imperial family.
sister. So this is the emperor's older sister, which if it had been in a different part of the empire, I mean, she would have been probably empress, but we're in the Reikland. Firstborn male heir takes the throne. Her son, though, is currently the heir to Reikland. And you passed by that heir back in Dunkelberg. Because apparently he'd been given Dunkelberg. So that's connections made already. That's mum here, son over there, emperor presumably up in Altdorf. Now you've met the emperor a couple of times. You are aware of her. You have been to Castle Reikguard nonce. You are aware that it's there. And you were aware that ambassadors were often taken there. Your parents have frequently... Oh, here comes the board! Here comes the board!
We just need to
Ambassadors
check.
were frequently taken there, but you stayed at home.
Okay.
And the reason you stayed at home is perhaps the most fascinating part of it all. Because you overheard your mother and your father talking about it. Your father, speaking in Nipponese only, his upper class, regal tone, diminishing in comparison to your mother's, who could not sound more posh if she tried. Going, we can't take her there. If we take her there, she might get touched and tainted by what they've got. And your mother's response to that was, well, of course. That would be unfortunate. We could hold that off. But she's still too young and too uneducated. No, we can't allow that to happen. There's too much witchery in these bloodlines.
Maybe I should stay on the board too.
Into the cubby with you.
Let's all go in the cupboard.
Cubby
party!
I thought we had the sister on the board, but we don't. We'll need to add her.
Oh, did you
Oh, this is a
stab
pin.
yourself?
Someone pushed a pen too far.
Oh,
It's the gungeon, Lindsay.
Poor Elric, poor Elric. So,
Don't worry, Dan won't complain about it for weeks.
so that being the case, are we making any special preparations as the barge makes its way towards a wow, as you're looking up, turning around the corner, there's Castle Reikguard. Castle Reikguard is a tall castle with long walls that go down the entire length of one cliff and down the other as well. And you can hear at this distance, Father, the sounds of animals. All manner of animals. There's squawks and scaws and screeches from things that clearly are up there. There is up on the walls a griffin. Standing proudly, looking out with a rider on it, holding its pennant high. And the walls are lined with soldiers. Cannons. At least that's what he sees. None. There is nothing up there. His vision sees something that is quite different to what actually is the case.
Happened in Uberstrike too.
It did.
God, it's a lot of
There is
cannons
no
up there.
great griffin sitting atop the walls. There are no great lined soldiers, but there are cannons. For those of you who are capable of seeing it. But there are cannons sitting out and looking down, and you can't hear any animals either.
Does the one preparation I would like to make
Yes.
is asking the lady, Marguerite, does she know the sister? She met her?
No, never met her at
No.
all.
Are
I'm
you,
aware of
Do we
her, of
know who we
course.
are?
and how are your families on terms with the Holschwig?
I've made demands of her brother, that's it.
Right.
I'm gonna have to be under her employ. Otherwise they'll snap me up.
Oh, that's true. But she can't employ you because she's also... They'll know you're
I'm a noble.
Amethyst wizard.
Yes, I'm a noble bird.
But, so you can employ him.
I can't inherit, but I could employ him.
But what about you? Who are you? And could they command you?
No, I'm a noble.
Right, good.
She says.
Excellent.
The elector count have demanded directly, could.
Mm.
She says, I can write you a contract.
Excellent.
And you may will also mention, I think my parents didn't want me to be here because they were pretty sure that they were all witches. Which sounds really heretical now that I say it out.
Who, this line?
Yeah.
Well, the brother was.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, but
Is it
more
magic?
Build
than
above
that,
it, yeah.
maybe. Anyway, there's something they're doing that I was too young and uneducated to deal with. I think there's not much reason. Like, there's no way I can stay here. But maybe you people who can sense magic should keep an eye out. And I don't know what it is though.
Oh, we should maybe put the sword in the cubby hole.
I can just watch movies.
But make sure it's securely tied into its scabbard and can't be easily undone.
Birdie's preparation will be to try and recall the research she did the first time around. Specifically around escapes and other entrances.
You have some interesting facts that you can drop. The Castle Reikguard is where the Emperor keeps most of the gifts that he receives from the various noble and royal lines from across not just the Empire, but the Old World, many of which are gifts of great beasts, Pegasuses, griffins, eggs, various other things that have been captured. Those that are deemed to be too dangerous to move to the zoo in Altdorf, which is hilarious given that they are indeed put in a greater population. Where those that perhaps have got martial worth, they're trained here in the lands behind. When you were coming here, you don't know when this was, but there was apparently a squadron of over 50 Pegasus riders, and they were secret. That was not well known. It was being kept secret because they had largely been stolen from the Bretonnians. A variety of stolen animals from various points, slain riders and similar. And they've been breeding them for some time, but at the command of Karl Franz's father. Beyond that, cages down deep into the lands itself for a variety of different creatures. You were there for one other reason, and that was to free an engineer that had been captured. It was pretending to be another creature, debased itself as some sort of rat-like creature that could be caged up. It was trapped. You had to get it out. It was not happy to be trapped. You had to command it not to unleash terror on that castle because it wanted to.
You can blame it.
But the command of the Grey Seer was enough for it to and then slope down and as the pair of you escaped. You left behind at least another 30 Skaven who had all been captured and put in cages.
Captured.
They are not the only creatures that are here. All manner of stuff had been captured and held behind Castle Reikguard. In many respects, it was like the secret extension of the Imperial Zoo.
So it's
Not
like it's like the animal version of Castle Wittgenstein.
In some respects, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's where the Altdorf's Griffin Riders are trained. It's deemed to be too dangerous to have them in Altdorf itself. The only Griffin that was deemed to be safe there was the Emperor's own. Not safe. Hashtag not safe at all.
Just in terms of the Runefang, if we do stash it here and they find it, then we're almost guaranteeing they'll confiscate it. Whereas if it stays with Alamenawaith, then
they might assume it's hers.
yeah, like the disguise of an elf with a magic sword.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't get drawn.
I'm not going to draw it. I'll wrap it
Yeah, that's fair.
because
That's fair.
otherwise, if they
No, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I like that.
We should also
you
look
could
into
pull rank if needs be as well.
or the lady can pull rank, and I'll just say I work for her and it's her sword.
we should also look
Not
into, for lack of a better term, submergible storage. So something where we could, have a smaller cubby and run it under the
Good
under
idea.
the barge.
I do still have the barrel with the bladders and the cork boys and stuff from when we were on the river.
Seems
It's in
useful.
my trappings.
Lucas,
No, the shadow
sir.
and Luitpold.
so I obviously can't come out.
You need to get down there,
Yeah.
but we're almost arriving.
I know.
There's a queue there.
Right, so
So we're not
look,
the only ones.
No, we're not the only
Hopefully,
ones.
Well,
it's just routine.
Yeah,
Play it
hopefully,
cool.
fingers crossed. If not,
Sensitive.
why is everybody just come over here for a second?
Yeah, yes.
Alright.
What is it, sir?
No, it's fine. Leopold, you can listen in. It's fine.
From the other end of the boat.
Yeah. Tell Alaminawaith no.
Well, look, listen. So obviously, I'm potentially not coming, and it's likely you'll go ahead to give aid. Well, I wish for you to actually, if possible. Could you look after Elric for me? Because there's sort of he's in a similar position, not the same as me, but in the sense of has to cover up who he is, if that makes sense.
Sir, I think it's fair to say that this entire barge is that
Yes, I
particular
know.
circumstance. But yes, of course.
Thank you. All right, just keep an eye.
Of course. After all, we did discuss him at some length.
Yes, exactly. So just
Yes.
good.
Just instantly start channeling Gyron. Fuck you all!
Up on deck, there is a small queue of barges, some of which look like they may have been there for a while. Can't exactly tell. Long, low piers. No, not piers, the jetties. Steps that go winding up towards one of the walls beneath Castle Reikguard, which looms high above. On the jetties themselves are a host of workers milling about, all in full uniform of blue and red.
I hope they don't
There's a
blood-
few knights,
Holy.
shining armor, plumes of red and blue as well, arms folded, some of them sitting having a wee chat. For those of you who have got very good hearing, you'll even catch a little bit of that chat, as one of them is like, I suppose we better get all the masters ready and do the next bet. Shh. And the other one says, oh, bloody tedious work though. Yes, I know, but we have to do it. Imperial order, imperial order. The one on the other side says, well, you know, I wouldn't exactly take that attitude, sir. He says, well, of course you wouldn't, because you're... As the other one says, well, he is, isn't he? Well, he is. What do you mean? I need to say no more. All of them have their helmets off. All of them look like Reikland would very happily have spawned them. They've got that look, the Reiklander look.
Does one of them have a mustache?
Nope, none of those have mustaches.
Okay.
Prepare to be
All of them have mustaches!
Let's not narrow it down, Andy.
Your barge eventually comes in, and there's a brief wait while you're hooked onto one of the other barges and told, yes, you just have to wait there. We'll get to you in a moment. We'll call out, who's your barge master? Tilda puts up her hand. Yeah, it's me. Name? Matilda. Right? Says,
While we're waiting,
get your papers.
while we're waiting to come, is there anybody who's got trade grooming who can look after Luitpold's tonsure? But you might be busy.
No. Butola's dealing with the paperwork.
ask.
Yeah.
And we could get some assistance because we could.
Yeah, we've got trade grooming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tonsure me up.
Whilst they're doing that, I'll also make sure my disguise is up. I can't remember what I've been wearing
Oh, okay.
recently. There was a dress at one point, you know. Just make sure.
About Elric, any particular
So what's my hat?
things he's
Are
doing?
you anywhere nice on your holidays?
You just come to terms that
If I make
he's
it on evening, he's never going to
signed an
know. So
albeit
that's fine.
fake contract
Shall we both roll?
with someone he doesn't agree with.
Oh, I fumbled.
But yeah,
Scream!
I
Oh
didn't
no!
want you to help. I wanted her to do it.
Oh
just be like, oh, it looks great. It's amazing.
Oh God,
I'm
she's
only
failed too. Oh no,
assistant.
you can take your time. You're not rushing.
Yeah. So,
No rush.
Yeah. So if I take my time, it's 4
Hang on,
successes.
time.
If I take my time, it's 3 fails and a fumble. But I'm only assisting.
But basically, all I'm doing is going, no, stop it, get off.
One
I think
side is
this would
great.
look really cool.
The other side is
Gone.
smooth.
Yeah, I mean, better if it's totally shaved
Yeah.
off
Yeah,
than,
yeah.
than
So
it looks like a dick or
I'll
something.
tidy it
No,
up.
Just what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Sigmar's
no.
fiery penis.
Yeah. It looked
Oh,
more like
no.
a spider
Oh,
in
no.
the comics.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
Yeah, next time, just you, Barry.
okay. I
Thank
I
tried
think
to
you'll
stop
find all the
Ella
hit
Ripple.
priests in Altdorf are rocking.
Rocking an asymmetric look.
Down the stairs
Get a
comes
bigger bandage.
a group, at the front of which is a knight. a very tall knight. Wearing his full
Hello.
helm, which if anything makes him look even taller. A long green plume that's sitting down, a long green cloak, and he's a full this much taller than the knights beside him.
Wow.
So we're looking at almost 2 heads full, then extra helmet on top.
Dear future
He would
husband.
he's probably at least a head taller than Alamenawaith and
Birdie.
Birdie and Luitpold, at least.
Life
As
goals.
he's
Who's good with heraldry and stuff?
I've got low heraldry.
a little bit too far away unless you've got acute sense vision.
Or a spyglass.
Or a spyglass. No, that.
Yeah, that would be obvious.
Unless she's also pretending to like try and woo him, I guess. Then like.
Pretending. We're in competition for this guy who's a
describes-
head taller.
If she
than-
describes
No
what she's saying.
heraldry.
No heraldry. Oh. Odd. Suspicious. Very
Does he
suspicious.
dress like the other? Sorry, I missed it. Is his
He's
armor the
dressed
same?
quite unlike the
Yeah.
knights who are beside him, who are dressed in the red and blue. That you, if you have Lord of Empire, are a noble. Pretty much everyone knows the Reichsguard. That are crumping their way down, and behind them there's a bunch of soldiers coming as well.
And he's wearing green.
Yeah, he's got a green plume hanging down and a white plume in between, and a long green cloak. You can hear the conversation going on between them. Oh bloody hell! Here comes the fucking peasant.
like
As
him already.
the other one says, "What do you mean he's a peasant? He's a knight. He's a fucking peasant. Bloody high elves. Can't stand the fuckers."
High helms.
I
Not
heard
high
that.
elves.
Yeah. We were all like, well, that would explain the height, wouldn't it?
Well, bloody said by the Emperor as well, so we'll have to fucking do what he says.
Sing her hair. Do you want me to do your?
Yeah, please.
No, don't get hurt.
Just
as you
don't
get there.
shave it.
There's a better chance if I do it.
A crit.
I look amazing.
Really neatly done the braids.
An asymmetric undercut suits Bertie in a way that it just doesn't.
Nobody's cutting my
5 successes and a crit.
Nicely.
my-
Oh, you look
my-
amazing.
Just
Majestic.
What are you doing? What?
Preparing.
Yeah,
What
Yumi
is-
looks at
for-
you both putting mud on her face
For a
like,
ball.
what's going on?
For the worst, Elric. For the worst.
Okay,
we will
I
do what
prepare
needs to be done to
completely
get us
different.
through this. Whatever
You
it
want
takes.
some mud?
Well, the tonsure is part of my rights.
Oh, no, I understand, but these two preening, I don't get.
I haven't preened. Just preened her.
You hear
So you preened.
I'm
strictly.
okay with that.
You hear
Good job.
the Sir Knight, so very good to see you. And oh, it's really good to see you too.
Oh, fuck.
He says-
Sterlander.
What? He says, I've been sent by the Emperor, I have. He says, and I am here to ensure that you're doing the job that you were ordered to do. He says, yes, of course you were. He says, he's here to ensure we're doing the job correctly. Oh, is he now? And exactly. Oh, don't you be giving me none of your lip now. He says, oh, yeah, oh, boy, we should shake hands. He says, coming up to them. So that's them all sitting about this side. And he's all the way up here. And oh, wait a minute. And he takes it off. Let's say he has a rudely fashioned face. It's all dark hair, squat pushed in nose, and sparse beard. Well, he says, well, you'll be lords, won't ya? He says, well, I'll be having none of that business round here. He says, what I am here to do is ensure that you're doing your jobs properly, ain't I? Yes, and I have been given, he says, this here order, which has got the Imperial seal on it, don't it? So I won't be having any of your lip. Yes, of course. No, we're not having lip. Says, well, have they been given their, what do you call it, from that herald? No, we were going to be doing that. He says, well, get on with it, he says as he backs off and folds his arms. Go. A clank of an arm. And off towards the side, gentleman comes out holding a scroll. Hat, blue and yellow feathers hanging out of it. Right. By the imperial decree of His Royal Highness, the Prince of Altdorf, Karl Franz the First, your barges are requisitioned for the Imperial State Army of Altdorf. According to the command, he says, of His Royal Highness, he says, all your cargo will be attended to, and it may also be requisitioned. You will be paid. He says, and those of you who have a barge that is of use to the State Army will be making your way to Altdorf, bringing weapons. He says, you will be paid accordingly. Now you may think that it is not part of your company's orders, or mayhap you are individual traders. This is an order from the Prince of Reichland himself. Sigmar, watch over his soul. So, he says, barge masters, I want you all out here, and I want you to bring your bill of ladings so we can see what you've got. Oh, there we go. That was very good. Very good.
Just a
Bloody
question.
mess.
I don't know if I have the requisite skill. A political question, a schemer question. Can the Prince of Altdorf requisition a barge registered in the Free City of Kemperbad?
That is a very good question, to which the answer is you're not sure.
With a very, very arsey lady who's requisitioned it on board with her own library, which they can't
That
requisition.
is most certainly a thing.
Although that knight doesn't seem to particularly care for respecting nobles.
No, but he clearly cares for respecting laws.
Bat your eyes at him.
But he might.
But Hilda says, so I should just go then. Right,
Well,
bring the bill of lading. What?
is Lady Marguerite, is she downstairs?
Yes, in the cabin.
And maybe ask Greta through the wall. She might know more about the law of it.
Go on, then.
I've got to go.
Yeah.
I've got to go.
Just bear in mind, Free City of Kemperbad.
Yes, yeah, of course. Right. Sure.
Do you
It'll
want
be
me to-
fine.
Do you want me to come with you, Bloodtilda?
I don't think they'll let you.
Okay.
They could only call for the masters, didn't they? And there's a lot of soldiers out there.
Good job the books aren't on the bill of fucking lading.
Yeah.
And she disappears over there.
Right, I'll run downstairs to
Oh,
apprise
you're here.
Lady Marguerite and the cubby of the situation.
Yeah, because you never know who's listening.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, says Greta. That's actually the worst.
Well, if we were going to Altdorf anyway and they pay us for our grain and our jewels, we'll just take the weapons and fuck off.
Aluminium, I've just had a thought. What if...
These disembodied voices from the pet.
Fair enough. Okay. What if they bring dogs on board or something like that? I'm not...
We've got 3, so they'll just fight, probably.
Well, no, I mean, we are smellable.
Yes, but they're just requisitioning barges. We just give them no reason to be suspicious. We keep the baby in here with the lady. There would have to be circumstances to bring dogs in with a lady and a baby.
All right, well, just in case, could you just...
Piss on you. Yes.
Wow.
No, that's
That
not...
escalated
That's
fast.
not where
More
you're
sex
going.
games, everyone.
That's not where you're going.
No,
Lucas, sex games.
could you go and ask Dumpling very nicely, because apparently she's now uppity, for like her strongest smelling, I don't know, ingredient type thing, like an oil.
I'll get Dr. Flaster to do. She'll have something.
Oh, she'll have something. Yes, Dr. Plaster. She'll definitely have something.
Dr.
In fact, she
Flaster.
has some. She
Get
definitely
out
has
your
stuff.
smelling stuff. I'll go and appraise Dr. Flaster of the situation.
Yes, that shouldn't be too difficult. Up on deck, you can hear Matilda's fumbling conversation. Yeah, it is up in the lines. Yeah, it's grain. Got some jewels as well. Well, we've got no real interest in the jewels, but the grain. We'll take the grain. Says, you'll find that our price is very unfair. It's for the state army, after all. Consider it this way, Master. Consider that you are providing the state army of Altdorf with a great benefit. Your heart should be filled with joy for supporting your emperor in this time of need, which of course it is. We don't want, after all, to have any unfortunate confusion as to exactly how much you think you're going to get for this. Right, he says, we'll take the grain. So I'd like your barge to the third one over there. Look, and he whistles. Oh, some children look out. He says, number 3! The hand goes up. Yep, over there. Yeah, good. The grain. We have ourselves a few tons. Excellent.
We've got 33 tons.
You're not there.
Well, I thought you had said
goes,
3.
It's on the bill
there's
of
actually a
lading.
few tons of it missing. It says it spoiled weevils in the mortar, so we had to turf it overboard. Oh, well, that's a bit of a waste. You could probably sold a weevily grain somewhere. I tend to find that there's many a porter who take weevily grain. Right. Okay, well, have your barge inspector over there. He says, your emperor thanks you for your service. I have a few questions, of course, master. Right. Yes. Have you or anyone aboard your ship been approached by anyone from House Youngpride?
Don't you fuck this up.
She goes, no. Well, tick. Says, have you or anyone aboard your vessel have been approached by House Trot?
Don't look under the bed.
She goes, no. Well, of course not. Why would they? Yeah, but why would they? She says, that would never happen. Yes. Says, do you have any wizards aboard? We've got a lady who has got a retinue with her, and one of them might be a wizard, but I don't inquire as to that sort of thing. Oh, really excellent. Really excellent. And who is this lady? Her name is Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein. Very good. Good. Well, master, go back to your shop and tell her ladyship that we should like to be talking to her in her retinue. Oh, good. Excellent. Piss off. Oh, she comes back.
I can relay this to everybody.
When they say we're not getting much, do they mean nothing?
I think that might be the case.
Fucking hell.
We're getting to keep the jewels.
Well, that's good because
they don't care about them,
Excellent.
which I think is quite interesting. It shows they're not interested in money. It shows that they're
feeding an army.
No, it shows they're moving now. I mean, if they were moving in 3 months, they'd take the jewels, sell them, and use it to buy more food. It shows they're moving now. She says, I used to be in the Navy, yeah? When they're requisitioning like this, it means that they're on the move.
And we won't get anything.
Yeah, probably not.
If we're taking weaponry to Altdorf, does this mean that they're mustering there, do we think?
Probably. I don't know. I mean,
why
they've
would they
got
want the grain here then?
I don't know.
To make room for the weapons they want us to
To
ship.
feed all those flying horses?
Yeah.
Maybe. I think they want to see you.
Aye, they probably will.
Yeah.
They said they wanted to see the lady.
And her retinue.
That's what he said.
Well, they're only interested in the wizards. And
They're the ones
He specifically said lady.
no, he asked for the wizards first. Then I said that we had a lady aboard. That's why I was just so that you wouldn't just be nabbed.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? No, that's it. I'm to go over number 3 once the gap opens up, and that's it. Oh fuck.
We're going to have to be careful of the books as they unload the grain. So.
Well, we could
Books
do
are
the winch
separate,
check.
aren't they?
The books are in the hold with the grain, but they're not like
It's just a lot of them are in
amongst
his
the
way.
grain.
But we have our own crane, so we could do the craning bit.
Yes, because they
protect
probably
them.
don't have stevedores.
No.
those books have a specific title on them? I'm not here.
You are sadly not. Is there just
You can whisper and Luitpold will hear you.
but Hilda,
That's true. Oh yeah, that is true.
no, but you wouldn't notice
I don't know,
exactly.
Yeah.
But Hilda says, "Yeah, I need you. We're moving now. Fuck, we're moving now. Look, we're being. Nice.
Just stay cool, everyone.
Yeah, just.
I mean, this is the sort of thing where they just take all your
Calibre
stuff,
group as a
innit?
party, we are not cool.
I do not want to have my blooming barge requisitioned. I mean, they might turf us off and that'd be it. They give us, I don't know, a gold crown or something. There you go. This thing's worth hundreds.
I still maintain that we're out of the free city of Cumberbad. I think we should, if they try and get it off us, we'll try that.
And offer, we're going to Altdorf anyway, so carrying cargo is not a big deal.
The barge negotiates its way over, and a bunch of soldiers are their apparent stevedores. But Hilda says, nah, fuck off. Nah. I'm not having no soldier trying to take it. No, you'll capsize me blooming barge. You've no idea what you're doing. Out the way. No, I'll protest. Here, night. He calls, you! Reikguard comes over and says, these fellas can't be our barge because they won't know what they're doing. They've done the other one. Yeah, was there any problems? Well, there was some problems. He says, he twists at his dark moustache.
Not Sandy then.
Not Sandy. Dark moustache. He says, there was some problems, but they get it all sorted. No! We got very important cargo down below for a ladyship, what is made of parchment and paper and whatnot. And if anything goes wrong and we take on any water at all, it'll be damaged. That's it. And I don't think His Imperial Majesty would like to receive a bill from one of the other asses for what would almost certainly be thousands of crowns. Pardon now? Excuse me. No, you stay there. Captain? What is it this time? They're getting upset about the bloody stevedores again. They've got nobility aboard. Oh, yes, we just received. Apparently, Wittgenstein. Where's Wittgenstein? I don't know. He says, no, neither do I. So, minor household. What's the problem? Books. Apparently, they're carrying hundreds of books. Huh. Right. It's a good book. It's not really our problem. She's aboard, so we can't just take them. I mean, can't we? He says.
Someone go get Lady Wittgenstein.
Yeah, I mean, Luitpold will scurry down and
Get the lady.
warn her. Yeah.
Is it time for me to come up and do something?
Yeah, they're making noises about potentially confiscating your books.
There we go. And she comes up.
My lady, if I may.
Thank you.
Because I did promise to protect her with my life. So.
She's not in the hold, is she? She's in the...
Yeah, but she still has to climb upstairs to get out the back.
Better than a rope ladder.
It's better than the rope ladder. As she calls out, excuse me, I require your attendance. And there's a look round. Oh, Lady Magister, she says. Wittgenstein. Looks at her. Oh, hello.
Lady.
We apologise for it. This is my barge, and you are requisitioning something I have already requisitioned myself. This is on the command of the Prince of Reikland. I had the command. It was on the Prince of Altdorf, actually. Is that right? No, excuse me, my lady. Is that right? And then, yeah, I'll ask the herald. Goes back. Comes back. Yes. So astute, my lady. May I ask where Wittgenstein is? And she smiles. You may. My Duke, the Lord von Mackinson. Oh, she says, General Mackinson. No, it's his uncle. Oh, his uncle. He smiles. Yes, of course. You can hear behind. She's mine. No, she's mine. I'll take the white-haired one. No, I'll take the white-haired one. And a knight from behind goes, stop it. No, you got no chance with any of them. They're ours.
This is standard operating procedure. That's why my hair looks good.
On behalf of all men, I apologise.
Yeah. That's the whole point, though. It distracts them. It's good.
As she says, apparently you intend to take the grain. If that is the case, then you must be careful, for my books are down there. Yes, of course. How about we just... It's a really big barge, though. We have a writ that allows us to requisition any vehicle that passes through. Yes, so I see. Then, you can buy our grain. Oh, of course. Yes, of course. And then, if we are to be taking weapons to Outlaw, fortunately we are travelling in that direction. We would be willing to consider it, assuming that you can get the correct stevedores to put it in place. We could not have weapons rolling around in our home, possibly damaging my books. Yes. Yes. How about your retinue and you come out and have some dinner over in the inn, and we'll get some stevedores down, and we'll that's perfect. You go organise yourselves. We'll get this organised. Don't you worry, my lady. Don't you worry, my lady. Delight to meet you. As he turns around, holy shit, she's so fucking gorgeous. He says, Sigma's fucking ghost. Captain, did you see her? I saw her, Captain. Did you? You see who she's with? It's a boat of goddesses. I say that we just capture them somehow inside our legal diplomatic speech or something, and they just have to stay here for the winter. He says, I think that might be slightly outside of your remit. So I know, I'm only joking. We're going to need to get the Lord Magister down. She's a witch. What? He says, witch. And that's why Ramrun Grumfeld is summoned down. Ramrun Grumfeld does not look at all like what he looked the last time you saw him. His hair is a shock of red. And half his face is now completely covered in brands. Judging by his high braziers, he's been increased in rank since you last saw him. He's now almost certainly a Lord Magister, and young at that. He's coming down the stairs along with 3 other knights. As he's making his way down and looks over towards the barge and sees you. I have this. And you hear from behind, but no, I have this. As he comes over.
This could go very well or awful.
Noted.
As he comes poddling over to where you are, and Lady Magister, Sir Grumfeld, it is very good to see you in particular, nephew.
Uncle?
Didn't expect to see you here. You know my employee? Yes, I do. This is an unfortunate circumstance. I must apologise, Your Ladyship, but we have familial matters that we're going to have to discuss. I hope you don't mind. I do.
She's brown.
there are some issues with your barge, apparently. I've been summoned down for... yes, of course, it's because I'm a witch. And they seek to requisition me, but unfortunately they can't, because I'm also a noble. Which means that it will take the Lord Markenstein. Right, so you're causing me problems. Thank you, my lady. Ulrich, I heard you were in very different employ.
I am still in the same employ.
Oh, my lady. Oh, well, this is interesting. Fascinating to see you. We should have a drink, and you're going to have to... I'm going to have to do nothing. I shall wait and attend, because I do not want to see any of these books damaged. So go fetch. Oh, someone else is doing that. Apologies, your ladyship. Looks over at you. You hide in the corner.
She kind of draws herself to her full height.
Let's just make this really simple then. Your barge, your ladyship, is going to be requisitioned, and they're going to be taking use of it to take weapons to Altdorf. Now, assuming that's not a problem, they'll be stacked, but you will have yourself a passenger. Well, all of our cabins are already assigned, she says. I don't really think that he is going to accept some peasant taking a cabin that he could have. Are we to be attended by night? Yes. Right.
You've got your bucket.
So, who says, I'll find out, and that's up to the captain. Though, between you and me, I think he would prefer it as himself. That leaves you for a good 5 minutes to say anything you want to say before your escort arrives.
What the actual fuck?
Just real quick, by the by, he knows I'm employed by...
We got that.
We got that. I mean, and the fact he hasn't immediately, called us to be arrested is
Can
reassuring.
we trust him?
Well, he's not dubbed us in yet.
I don't know.
Ask that louder.
Or someone else ask it.
I trust him. But he's a lot different than when I saw him last.
Well, blood's thicker than water.
Knock. Ramon Grumfeld is back.
It wasn't 5 minutes.
Speak very slowly.
He's a bright magister. His sense of time is.
There's a Grumfeld. If you could come over here, please.
Aye.
And he leans in close.
Good here on the ship. Just saying.
He says, I don't need to worry about that. He burns away all sound, passing through a small barrier around.
Nice.
Why would you do that?
Because he likes his secrecy.
Really
As he
invasive.
says.
Yeah.
But it also might give us the second warning we need to not die.
As he says, really the fucking shit here. As he forces a grin on his face. This is not the best place to be. They want to requisition you, but I think that... Do you have a contract?
I have.
With her?
Yes.
I might get someone.
I thought this would happen. We're planning ahead.
Good thinking. You have a contract? It's got a seal on it.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, well that's at least something. He says, so very good to see you and all that. I'm trying to put a thing up. Not a very good actor.
How did you end up here?
I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here at all. Got caught up with a bloody... The war's already started.
I know.
No, it started. It started.
Yes.
It's not just...
I understand.
They're not just moving around. The Emperor's ordered an attack on Tain. And they got their asses fucking handed to them. They thought it was going to be a quick surprise attack, like River Reik.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same thing again. And they had their asses handed to them. No other way of putting it. And They're in fucking uproar. They're doing everything they can to try and hide it. Ha ha ha. Joke. Ha ha. Oh, I'm really shit at being an actor. I'm not made for this.
So they're mobilising the colleges.
They're mobilising everyone. They're calling Tame a traitor. The Trots are traitors. They have to be taken down. The young Freuds have been poisoning their well, so to speak.
Is there
Don't say anything you don't want to say.
No, is there any way we can get a more amiable passenger?
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to organise. There is one that I'm thinking of right now who might be... I mean, he's a Nordlander. And he has, let's say, he has different views on a lot of these things. He's a Reichsguard. I mean, he's one of the Reichsguard, but he does not share their opinions. So I'm trying to organise it for him to come on, and if that works, it's brilliant. But if not, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to keep your head down.
Alwork will do a big like.
He says in return.
There are 2 more passengers on this barge.
Tell me they're not. I mean, they really are, aren't they? Oh shit. He says, I'll talk to him. He says,
how far away are we from Aldorf?
Well, 2 days, 3 days, maybe. Depends how fast your barge is. Maybe a day if you're lucky.
We can distract
they
him.
need
It's
to
not
come
a
out.
problem.
Shit. He says, I'll see what I can do. And that's how we pick up our passenger. He has got a moustache that is sandy.
Finally figured it out.
With floppy,
Pink unlocked.
slightly curly hair. And did you say crush unlocked?
Kink
Kink
unlocked.
unlocked.
No, it was
And
the image for this
of-
week's.
all of the Reichsguard's armour by far the least adorned. Possibly because it's also the cheapest. He, unlike many of the Reichsguard, is not wearing a green velvet cloak. He's not wearing a helmet either, nor has he got it underneath his arm. He's got a single sword, which is altogether relatively unimpressive. As he comes over and says, right, I suppose this is my barge, right? He says, right. And he looks over the lady. Oh, your ladyship. I can't bow too much because I'm in my armour. He says, and it's not actually made for me. He says, so take this as a deep, sweeping bow that really impresses someone as impressive as you in turn. My name's Theoderic Gausser, he says. Baron Theoderic Gausser. Which is where we bring our episode to an end.